Welcome to the Good Talk, our recap and Q&A show where we go over the game we just played and answer your questions. And of course, this was the debut of a competitive Tyranids list and some really, really cool models, new stuff that we haven't seen on the channel. And we thought we'd bring them against the Tau. Maybe not the strongest army, but an army I know really well. And that goes really far when playing in a kind of tough, heated match. And what a heated match it was.
Right?
Turned out to be neck and neck the entire game, right down to the very last turn. Every decision mattered. One little decision, one way or the other by each of us, and the game would have swung. And so what a nail biter.
It was really cool to see, and one cool thing is it was also really close on a non-domination match, which is, there's a lot more variation, a lot of things that can happen.
Yeah, we had asymmetrical secondaries, which is not common.
Not anymore, no.
And very asymmetrical armies, frankly. And to have such a close match with a game that's not like that, it's rare.
Yeah, and I knew, you mentioned the fact that you know the Tau very well. I knew that was going to be one of the biggest factors in this game because, I'm playing a very, very powerful list, but don't know Tyranids
It's all
well.
new stuff for you,
right?
Yeah.
And so, but whereas you are playing definitely the underpowered army and even the underpowered list.
Sure.
But you know the faction really well.
And I took the best stuff.
Yeah.
And not only is the best stuff from the book what I had in my list, it's actually stuff that is particularly good in this match.
Yeah.
Whereas there are some games where maybe this list, which is still some of the best models, aren't going to be the strongest, right? This particular match, all my best tools had a great target.
Yeah.
So that's what made this actually a particularly, this is the Tau could punch up here because their best units were really well suited to this matchup, right?
Which is cool. It's cool to see. Did you have something that earned you the MVP that was kind of the best performing of these units?
Yeah, I think, my broadsides and my riptides were strong units. They did put out the damage. They are both really swingy though, and so at the end of the day, they just leave me feeling nervous because it's like they have high potential, but they'll let me down. You remember I had a couple turns where they just did, like a couple activations where they did nothing. But ultimately the big crisis bomb, right, that had the airburst fragmentation, it had the iridium suits, it just re-rolling wounds.
Yeah.
That unit wrecked.
They were so great.
It cleaned house. Not only it was like, I'm going to clean house a 30-man blob, and then I'll kill a Hive Tyrant.
Right.
Just with the leftover shots.
Yeah, the leftover shots. And they were super tough. Yeah, like you said, between the iridium, ignoring the -1 and -2. And they were also bodies, and they were mobile.
And they're tough. They ignore AP 1 and 2, and they just kept tanking it.
That was definitely a big mistake on my part when I went into the Riptide with the Invuln instead of going into them.
Right, you would have torn them up.
I was really afraid, rightfully so, of the Riptide and the Broadsides because they had just downed the other Dimacron, right? And so I leaned too far into trying to take these threats out. But the funny thing is, in the second half of the game, in the latter half of the game, your crisis are the All-Stars, and if I had dealt with them, my Hormagaunts, or my Termagaunts would have been the All-Stars.
You would have held the point because...
I just swarm you.
Yeah, a bunch of ion cannons don't kill a 30-man blob.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree. I thought your Dimacron would have gone into that big squad. Yeah. You would have cut the squad to very few. You would have, I'm a 9-man squad. I think you'd kill like 5. Yeah. And then I'd even have morale problems.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think that would have been pretty lights out. So that would have been a good change to target. But for me, that's definitely the unit that performed the best. It was a full 9-man crisis squad. That's a lot of crisis.
Right. Oh, I love it.
But I was impressed. And I didn't deep strike them. I think a lot of games maybe you won't. It's a big unit to deep strike. But you could get it hitting on 2s on the turn it comes down as a far sight. I had it hitting on 3s, so it's a huge percentage in my army. I had ballistic skill 3.
I know, it was devastating.
It was good.
Oh my goodness. And you were able, because of the ignore line of sight, you were able to deploy on the line.
That's true.
On the board. And
when I knew that you had fast screen units that would push me up, and if I wasn't careful, I would be deploying in my deployment zone turn 2, and then just not shooting on turn 1.
That's right, exactly. Right? And you had that immunity to things like the Hive Guard, which is the only thing that can shoot at line.
Correct.
Right.
So they were my stars. What about you?
I don't know. I have a tough time actually picking. No, it's got to be the Swarm Lord.
he was good.
So lots of things did something.
Yeah.
That's the best I can say, right? The Dimacrons, they didn't do a ton.
They're the ultimate distraction card effects.
They are and that's kind of one of the theories.
You could see my whole army was deployed only to service them.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
And they're only like 200 points.
Yeah, they're really good.
So cheap.
But like, actual impact, they didn't do as much. They forced Brian to play in a certain way.
They forced a lot, I'd say, for me.
They forced a lot. But then, like, the Gaunts were doing stuff on the board. They were actually doing the scoring. The Swarmlord made it all possible by double moving, doing some clutch things in the end.
Yep.
So it's hard to give an MVP because everything was kind of
Everything only did a little bit.
It only did a little. Like, it was enough. But
and the Tau, like, every time anything was looking like it would be good, the Tau made it go away.
I know,
right?
right?
Like, that thing might be good next turn. No, it's dead.
Yeah.
If anything was in position to do a good job, it was dead.
I know. Kill me when you got the Exocrine because you, like, took it to half, and I was like, oh, I survived. And you're like, and the Riptide. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And
the Exocrine is too dangerous to keep alive.
He is. He's amazing. He's amazing. And normally I put the Dermic Symbiosis?
The one where you have a 5-up involved.
Yeah, I put that on him, and he didn't have this game, so he just dies to a stiff ion cannon breeze.
I had the best weapons in the game.
It's a big breeze.
Yeah. It's a hurricane.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what a really close clutch game.
Yeah.
I'd be really excited to see that again. We were really nervous about this because the Tau, this is one of those games that could tumble really quick.
Sure.
Like, imagine I even made one mistaken deployment.
Yeah.
You go first.
Yeah.
Both Demacarons are in me turn 1. You've, got into one of my juicy targets where, like, my Riptide doesn't have his 3-up anymore.
Exactly.
He has a 5-up now, and he's ripped down. Or, like, if you kill even one thing of value, your Hive Guard, remember I tagged them turn 1, so if they were shooting off of turn 1 and popping all my scoring units, like, it could have been, like, turn 1 could have been ruthless.
That roll-off was surprisingly impactful. And we both wanted to go first, which is not something that happens often now. But we were like, we really, really both want first.
Yeah.
It really matters.
The fact that I got first and the fact that my turn went well, like I killed a Dimacaron and I tagged the Hive Guard, because of those two things working, it took it from, like, a match where I was just terrified to, like, oh, now we're kind of on even footing.
That's good.
And you have to, like, not, everything kind of has to work.
Yeah.
Right?
And you did clever things that I also want to point out. Like, you moved, in your first deployment, I had a decent chance of, like, clearing a couple Fire Warriors, jumping over them into combat. But the moment that you got first turn, you moved up and then, like clear, you re-screened everything really well. You had a triple layer of Fire Warriors. Now, suddenly, I don't have my Devil Gaunts because they're up in space. I don't have enough to screen it, so I actually can't reach you with them at all. Right. And so that was really cool. It went from, like, cool. If I do this, I can get in there, to, like, I literally can't get in there right now.
The Tau, playing the Tau has always been a game of masterful screening.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to screen like crazy.
Yep.
And I got used to it at the start of 9th because if you ever got tagged, you lost instantly. Now I don't lose instantly when I get tagged, but it's still not, doesn't feel nice. So
I feel you.
Really cool game. Why don't we take a look at the Q&A?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do some Q&A. We have some saved ones, some good talk chats here.
Okay.
Thank you, Iolinth. Hello, Titans. Your favorite mod here, other than Techno.
Oh, naturally.
We've got a lot of favorite mods.
That was in the super chat.
We had no
in the super
favorites.
chat. I'm just reading his words. Just a bit of an update. Vault should be dropping in the studio early May.
Whoa.
Hope you guys like the scheme. I am so excited to play Vault triple Catan.
That's amazing.
That's going to be
cool.
A naughty one.
So I'll play it agaast your Custodes.
No, I don't want to play it, Brian.
Hey, man, you get 6-ups against those mortals. That's good.
No, you don't. Only in
it's only
psychic
psychic.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's messed
It's only
up.
against psychic.
It's only against psychic.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. It's like a rose by another name, you know?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, thank you.
But I'm excited to play with them.
It'll be good.
Cool.
Thank you, Noah. Hey, Titans. I'm building an Emperor's Children army with 2 Noise Marine squads and Rhinos,
Nice.
a Despoiler Knight, a Demon Prince, Cultist Screen, a Jump Pack Sorcerer, Mauler Fiend, and Obliterators. Is enough assets to play the game?
Yeah.
And any plans for your collection in terms of inheritance or legacy? Inherited a bunch of OG Wargaming stuff from my grandfather when he died.
Well, it's funny. We played the Nids today, which were Jeff's, of course.
That's right.
And when he passed, we were sort of had to kind of decide who gets what and how that works. And so I am the keeper of his Gene Stiller army, and which is beautifully painted, and his Chaos Space Marine army, largely because I was the one that painted it and built it, like, for him and with him. And so there's a few of us that, like, have that, and it's really nice to be able to, like, honor someone in that way and play.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool and adds a lot of history to it,
Yeah, an army getting passed down. I have one army passed down.
That's right.
Which is my orcs came from a local hobby hero named Michael Derry, and he had an unbelievable collection of wargaming stuff. And the community got together and bought some of it from his family to kind of help them. And I was glad to kind of give it a life again because I'd played against his orcs in so many events. Mostly with my Tau. So
he had so many orcs. Oh my goodness.
He had over 150,000 points of orcs.
That's no exaggeration.
I'm not exaggerating.
Very. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That was one of his armies.
It's a true Big Mick.
That was one of his armies. Yeah, he was the biggest boss. Yeah.
The first part of the question.
Yeah.
Was that enough assets? Do you want to hear it again?
I like the asset, like the number of assets.
You've got assets with teeth. Now you need some utility.
Yeah, like the one change I would make if I could, which would be I would take away the despoiler and put just Terminators because they play the mission. They're tougher. They're cheaper.
I agree with that
You know?
sentiment. If you love the knight because it's your vibe,
That's a great way to do
then
it.
cool.
Yeah.
The Terminators are gonna work better, I think. You like to put a few? What's a few cheap throwaway units, like Furies?
Well, they're only demons, so you could do Spawn in CSM.
Spawn, yeah.
You can do.
What else can you do?
Raptors are
pretty pricey,
great.
though.
They're better. They're only 17 now.
Yeah.
And
But you want a few
that's
units
about it.
like that.
Yeah,
you need
yeah,
a few fast things that are throwaway. Spawn, I think, are a good
Spawn's
option.
probably the best. It's the cheapest. They move
And
fast.
they don't have anything else in their fast attack slots that I heard
I
there.
don't think so. No.
So
works
even
well.
like 3 individual Spawn
It's so
could do
good.
so much work for you.
Yeah, you're like, cool, you're playing domination, you are forced to go first, you're paying 25 points to get domination by just putting your spawn on the point.
I agree so much.
great.
It's big, and yeah, you could warp time them, or no, they don't have Heretic Astartes.
No, you should be able to.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great. So you could do so much work with just the 3 Spawn, and they're wonderful conversion opportunities.
Yeah, they are.
Right?
Yeah. All right, thanks. Mohammed, hey Titans, your thoughts and or would love to see you run Blood Angel Captain on bike, Angel's Artifice, Gift of Foresight, Adamantium Mantle,
Yep.
Thunderhammer, and a Melt Pistol.
Yep. Yeah, the boy would get tough.
Yeah, it's like your Salamander one, but the blood.
It's the killer.
Blood Knights.
It's the killy version
The killy
instead of the
version.
tanky version.
That could be fun.
That would be pretty rad.
Yeah, we don't have any.
Yeah, we don't have any bike captains.
It's very specific.
We don't have a bike captain for Blood Angels.
Blood Angels.
Yeah,
Right.
I have
Yeah,
I have bike
You have one for
captains,
Salamanders.
and I have obviously for my White
And
Scars.
White Scars, yeah.
Obviously. But you know, never say never.
But yeah, Blood Angels. I have so many HQs already, and I don't know.
That's the toughest thing, right?
It's tough
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you don't really want to spam HQs anymore.
When are we going to see a Librarian Dreadnought?
Yeah,
I
Brian.
have the mod. So I bought a Forge World Custodes Dreadnought with the spear.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to convert him up to be my Librarian Dreadnought. I have the kit. It's sitting in
cool.
my house. But I have this Blood Angels expansion that I need to do, which is actually a bunch of characters. I have to do my Dante conversion.
Yes.
I have to do Sang Priest with Jump Pack.
Yes. Yeah.
I have to do a Sanguinary Ancient.
Yes.
And then I have to do the Lib Dreadnought. So those are,
All right.
it's like this.
That was Vince McMahon meme for me. That was like
Yeah.
every time I got more excited.
And it's a really fun little painting project because it's like
Yeah.
all the candy and none of the like you know
Yeah.
it's all good stuff.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna get around to it. I might do it before I go deep in one of my other hobby projects.
So we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll see. I want to do it after I do Curse City.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a big project. Curse
Big
City.
project.
It's a big project.
But these blood angels are legitimate one of your that's your plan. We were just talking about
Yeah.
like what you're planning on doing next, and like that's
I'm gonna
the deal.
add-
Curse City,
yeah.
Blood Angels expansion,
That's right.
other unnamed things.
That's right.
Alrighty, thanks. Kitsune, what do you think of Demon Prince in Thousand Suns? Cast Diabolic Strength, Prescience, Glamour of Tzeentch, Weaver of Fates on him, give him Undying
Wait a
Form and
minute.
Hourglass of Manat?
Yeah.
Something?
They're gonna come back to life after you die, I believe.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Adrian?
Is this like a meme? Is this a meme? Are we doing this thing?
No, it's fun. It's like it's fun to come up with like these things that you can power up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's great.
Wait, why does he need prescience? Oh, because he -1 to hit with his sword?
or
axe or something?
No, which weapon do they say? The main thing is, so you have Death to the False Emperor on 5s.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's old fashioned.
Wow, you can.
So it's an absolute beat stick. And yeah, if you're not running Magnus, which you know I totally get not wanting to do that, then yeah, it's great. The only downside is, of course, like you also don't want to have Terminators then because they also want those buffs.
Right.
But it's super cool. I love it.
I love powering up Demon Princes.
Yeah.
And you can do it with Tzeentch for sure.
It's great.
Because they get really defensive as well.
Yeah. And the relic to get up on a 2-up, if you remember last time we played it, it was a big deal. It was like you can't shoot them off the point, especially late game, right?
Yeah,
You just stand on the point. Like, can't shoot them off because then they're just going to get back up and hold the objective. If you charge them, well, actually, same thing.
Yeah.
So it really messes with your opponent in like a cool way.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get them down. The fact that he comes back up.
It's like after all that.
Yeah, and he could be essentially invincible for the rest of the game on 1 wound because you just screen him, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work.
It's cool.
It's great.
Yeah. Thank you, Treyland. You would have to have like 4 squads cast a power to then get the effect of the tide. Or this is going back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with the last super chat from Trayland.
Okay.
For a new Grey Knights Codex, what would you guys think about removing the repeat cast limit and making big group spells instead of Ties of the Warp? You would have to have like 4 squads to cast power to then get the effect of the Tide, or 3 units to cast to buff a single unit of Purgation Squad.
Yeah.
Now that, very, oh, he goes on. I feel like it would give Grey Knights cool and unique group psychic. Love the show.
Yeah.
Now this is a very cool idea. I'm gonna do a total 180 on my previous answer, because when it was just like, I thought he meant group spell like you cast a spell on a group.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, well, that's real strong, because you could just repeatedly
that.
jump your whole army all the time, right? That would be too strong. But if like a bunch of units come together to cast a better power, so let's say you can cast Gate of Infinity,
Sure.
and it does a thing.
Yeah.
But if you have 4 units working together to cast Gate of Infinity, when you come down, you get a buff.
Yeah, or like
Wow, that's cool.
your hammer hand. It's like hammer hand, but we hold hands, and so it's like you don't have to cast hammer. You can't
Hammer
cast
hold hands.
Hammer hold hands. So it's like cast hammer hands, and then another unit within 12 can then try to cast, and they also get the buff.
Yeah.
So you're only casting it once, but you're trying to like activate.
So
it
everyone
constantly.
turns their hands into hammers and then links hammers.
Yeah. See, I like it.
The more I think about it, the more I kind of like the idea of making them work more like the Realm Lords, where you can cast same power multiple times, and then there's powers that are specifically for the units. So they already have the 2 disciplines, the one that's for characters and the one that's for anybody.
Yeah.
I think they should take it a teeny bit further. They should have the discipline that's just for units, and maybe it's even less powers. Maybe it's only 3 powers, but since you can cast them multiple times, it doesn't matter. And it's like the elves, for example, can make themselves have more offense, can make themselves have some more speed, can make themselves have more defense.
Right.
Right. It's kind of like, which mode do you want to put them in, and they cast it. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
and even the cast value does not go up. It's almost like you're choosing which state they want to go in, and then if you fail it, it's like, uh-oh, that unit can actually not be what you thought it was going to be.
That's really
So
cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I also there's a key part to that army. Like I think that army, they did a lot of thinking. You don't want to fail these spells. Like these spells are only cast on like 6 or something, but your whole army is going to cast. You're going to end up failing a lot. So there's an endless spell, which is the Twin Stones, which gives +2 to cast in an aura, which is pretty key for that army.
Yeah.
So that you can just like get your buffs.
Right.
You could come up with like a power for a character that maybe like he makes it easier for the other units to get theirs, or they reroll one.
If a character is part of the communion of units of Grey Knights.
They're holding hands.
They're holding hands. It's all
lots of
predicated around holding hands.
Yeah.
The chapter tactic is hold hands.
All right, thanks, Lee. I bought a ticket for my first ever tournament in September, and I have to
sounds fun.
choose which of my armies, Emperor's Children, Salamanders, or Necrons. Which should I take and why?
Oh, that's so tough.
September's a long time for
I
me.
would take the Necrons. If I was like sitting in your place, I would take the Necrons.
Same, actually.
Yeah.
Same.
I would say that with one caveat.
Okay.
There's like a
The meta could change.
0.1% chance. Maybe a 0.01% chance. We'll have a Chaos book by then.
Oh, for them for
And
children.
if the Chaos book has come out,
And it's fresh.
then play the Emperor's Children.
Yeah, play your fresh army.
yeah,
but
always.
there's almost a 0% chance of that happening. Because we all know...
Because they have to release every other Space Marine book first again.
We have like
the
16
bet,
Imperium
isn't it? What was
codexes
it?
before we'll get...
Yeah.
You said
They have
that.
to re-release the Space Marine Codex
That's right.
again before
Yeah.
before the Chaos Codex.
Naturally. Yeah, no, that's the big caveat, right? Because legitimately, that's what, 6 months away. It will look. Warhammer will be a very different place.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about the new Space Marine book.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're on our side.
But yeah, Necrons, it's such a cool army. A lot of fun. I think it'd be good.
Yeah. All right, thanks. Mozart, I think the commanders in the 8 should get new, unique designs.
Agreed.
Would be great if they stood out from standard battle suits. What do you guys think? Yeah, I could see them doing like a Forge World line of the 8.
Do you know what's weird about the 8? You know how fanatical they're becoming about not releasing rules for things that don't have models?
But the 8 don't have... Well, I mean, they
They don't actually.
have models.
No, they
like-
have so much unique war gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's not, they don't
but
really
they're
have
just
them.
relics.
That's so weird.
They're relics and they're named characters though. Like how often
Yeah.
do they have a
Yeah.
set of named characters
Yeah.
that don't
Yeah.
have actual kits?
I think they
true.
should make a Forge World line for the 8.
And if you look
But
at
it
the
would be
pictures,
expensive.
if you look at the pictures of the art for the 8, they're not makeable by the kits. So
Interesting.
this is one of the only
That's stylized. That art's not canon, Brian.
sure.
What?
But But yeah, you heard him saying it's actually one of the only examples I can think of new rules they released for something where it's a conversion only project.
Okay, but here's the real question, Brian. How much would that cost from Forge World? Like if you bought the 8 as a package.
Too much.
Remember, packages on Forge World are the same as all the individuals out
or more.
Or more. You want us to put this all in one box?
Yeah. That's
plus
gonna
$100.
Cost you. That's going to cost you. I think it would be like $500. Yeah.
That seems low to me.
No, that's about right, honestly.
Nah,
I think the Riptide itself is probably going to cost at least 100.
Sure.
I mean, listen, it's not much more than a Riptide costs like in plastic. That's most of the Forge World stuff, if we're honest.
Yeah.
And even when you buy like a Yavara, I'm pretty sure they send you a Riptide, plastic Riptide kit
they do.
with Yavara upgrade sprue.
They do.
Yeah.
Because the Yavara isn't a full kit. It is an upgrade.
It's just the upgrade, yeah.
I never actually knew that.
Yeah.
The Arvarn is the same way.
It is?
Yeah, I think it would be like $750 or something.
Sure.
It would be an expensive kit.
Jeez.
They make it the exact same number of points. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
It's like 1,000 points. Nice and square.
All right, thanks, Ultra Necron Marines, Yo-Yo Titans. Following on from my commission question last time, looking at getting a Thousand Sons army painted up.
Nice.
What would you start with? Rubrics, Armon, Terminators, Hellbrutes, what else? Definitely get Armon.
This is a great army to get commissioned, by the way, because it is a pain to paint, and it's one that a really good painter can go to town on.
So good.
Right?
Yeah.
What would you get first?
Start with the stuff that's going to kind of establish the look for the rest of your army, right? So, yes, a character like Armon. Yes, a unit of Rubrics or Terminators. They're very similar armor.
I would get both.
I would do both, yeah.
In the first batch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because first of all, I'd want it to be like a playable army. So I'd want like a few OPSEC
then
units.
just getting everything, right?
Yeah. Well, no, playable at like 500, 1,000 points,
500?
whatever.
Okay.
Whatever we're talking about.
Couple Rubrics,
yeah,
Terminator.
Couple Rubrics, a Terminator squad.
Yeah.
I definitely think I love the Demon
Prince. Yeah, we got to get Demon Prince in there.
Pretty key.
Yeah.
And if you like the Hellbrute, go for it. I don't love the Hellbrute for them, but if you're into it, go for it.
It doesn't look very Thousand Sons to me.
Agreed.
But
it doesn't have that elegant look.
You guys say that about all of the
That's
Hellbrutes.
just me.
No, I think Hellbrutes work in like main chaos.
Yeah.
My friend did up one for his word bearers.
Yeah.
And he did like all the writing on it, and it looked so word bearers.
Like Black Legion, Hellbrutes look Black Legion to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess yeah. I'm just thinking. I have the Dark Vengeance ones, which are much fleshier than the box kit one. I love the box kit.
Which is why I thought it worked well for word bearers, because it looked really demonic.
Yeah. So.
Okay, but yeah, I think that core stuff is where you want to start.
Agreed.
That's a tough commission, though. You got to find a good painter.
You got to find a good painter, and also one that hasn't recently painted trim, so they've forgotten how bad it is.
I was gonna say you need a meticulous painter more than anything.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Kyle. Hey, Titans. Not even a Tau player, but still happy to see the Kroot get a table appearance.
Right.
Hopefully, they'll see some improvements in 9th. It's only up from here for Kroot.
Why do they have one attack?
They have one attack.
No
I've
way.
complained about that forever. Back in early 8th,
and they don't
I thought it was laughable.
Their weapon gives them +1 strength, no AP.
What? I don't even know. I think it's strength user.
No, it's +1 strength.
I think they're strength 4.
Don't even bother looking it up.
I'm looking it up. They're strength 4. They're strength 4.
They are strength 4 because the weapon gives them +1 strength.
They're not base strength 3. Get out of here. No way.
And they hit on 4s or hit on 3s?
They hit on 4.
Their weapon skill 3.
Their weapon skill 3. Okay.
And their base strength 3.
Yeah.
And their gun gives them +1 strength.
Yeah.
No.
And they're T3.
They're T3.
They're a joke.
Yeah, you're right.
That's so bad.
They're actually a meme. They exist solely to make you upset.
No, well, yeah. They're a screen, cheap screen.
They're cheap screen, which
is fine. And in a game where I wasn't trying to be so defensive, they could have raised banners turn 1 in the middle of the board.
Yeah.
On both sides of the board.
No, they're actually not.
So that could have been that could have been something because it would have forced some armies' hands, right?
Yeah, they just don't represent the lore of themselves. Like I actually don't hate them as a unit. Obviously they could be better, but at the end of the day they are scouting bodies, and that's like
cheap scouting bodies.
Well, who scouts in a squad of 10? They should at least be squad size 5.
They're supposed to be hunting packs. Like they're supposed to actually be at least a little killy, you know?
Well, but they're not remotely killy in any number.
I know.
No quantity of Kroot is killy, so at least give us min squad 5.
I'll give you that one. But that's just like, now you get to take less Kroot.
Let's give them as many attacks. Let's give them the same profile as witches.
Or more units of Kroot.
You know what? I would be kind of okay with that.
That'd be crazy.
Maybe
If all of a
so
sudden everyone was just playing Tau as like a witch, like combat kind of army, where it's just like they're all like in Devilfish and like running out of crew, and everyone's like, oh no, it's more crew.
That'd be so cool. I would love it. Yes. Let's do it. Come on, James.
I can't picture it at all.
Make it so.
And then
so
like
bad.
they don't get the 4-up invuln in combat. They get a thing where like if they kill you, then they eat you, and then they get a 5-up feel no pain or something.
Yeah. I sent you guys that crude army that someone made.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Listen, I would do it
Very cool.
instantly.
Yeah.
James, you make
So
the crude
cool.
good, and I'll pay someone to do an amazing job of making a crude army.
They're so cool.
But you got to make them good. You got to make them good.
Gotta make them good. Thank you, Samaltz. Hey, Titans. Yesterday, I had the Silent King explode for 56 mortal wounds.
Yes.
What's the biggest explosion you've seen?
Wow.
Definitely Brian blowing up his Land Raider in the middle of his Space Wolf
That
army.
wasn't the biggest.
That wasn't the biggest, but it was the funniest.
It was the
One
most
of the funniest.
catastrophic.
That's true.
It was one of the most catastrophic. No,
It was
the
biggest by
most mortal wounds
percentage
I've
of armor.
had.
Yeah.
He did, I think, somewhere in the low 40s, 42 to me with a flying headbutt.
That was our first game of the night?
Yeah, not our
game.
first. It was the second game of 9.
That was brutal.
42. Now, funny enough, this is how many wounds I took after
Feel No
I had
Pains.
5-up feel no pains.
Yeah.
So it was probably, for what it's worth, I rolled poorly, but I think it was probably close to 50 wounds that flying headbutt had done to me, and that's where that's where the legend of me hating that ability came.
I mean, but before Flying Headbutt, you hated Exploding Knights as a top player. Because Knights would just charge
That's
the
a
No,
knight
castle.
player. He
no,
loves
actually,
them.
I became really good at preventing it.
Before that, you hated Exploding Knights.
Jeff Robinson got me with it. I
Yeah.
lost in the third round, like it was the finals game.
I remember.
of an
I was
RTT,
hosting that tournament.
And honestly, Tau should have a huge advantage against Knights.
Yeah.
And he was like, cool. He like ran up, and I just was new. I was like still pretty new at competitive, and I think this was my first game against him. And his knight died in Overwatch, and he's like, cool, I blow up. And it's like, my whole army just died. Because it was just like 6, 6, 6. It was like, he was rolling 6s to kill like 3 separate commanders. Like, commander, commander, commander.
Yeah.
And it was like, ethereal dead. And then he's like, that commander down to 1. And then he was, my Riptide lost like 5. I lost like 30 drones.
Yeah.
it was wild.
And I was just like, oh, what?
you can do that?
What just happened?
Yeah.
But in the future, I learned how to like string one thing out so he blows up and hits one squad on Overwatch.
Exactly.
And then it was never a problem again.
Yeah.
Fool me once.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And then, you played your Exploding Knights against Bridger. So.
And listen, I've exploded knights on
Nothing you
people.
can do as Custodes about that. That's we can only kill them in combat.
We tried to help you on
And-
that match, man. There's nothing we could do.
You just
And I was just
gotta.
cackling as they just exploding
We were
on
like, okay. Like, let's give the Custodes an interesting vibe. We've been kind of harsh on them lately.
Yeah.
Let's do some Chaos Knights. And Brian's like, I found the one thing.
He also deployed too close to me, forgetting that I get advantage charge.
Yeah.
He was like, all my guys are right on the line. I'm like, charge. And he's like, uh-oh.
There was just the Venatari.
Yeah, the Venatari.
That was before we knew
Put
how
them too
good
close.
Venatari were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they never got a chance to fight.
They never got a chance.
Yeah.
And we had the Lance Venatari.
Which,
We're pretty bad.
not going to do anything
I
against
told
them.
you. I said
You
it. I was
did.
like, it's all about the pistol and the shield.
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you?
I don't remember
I did
the
actually. We had a strong
we're like
discussion.
several layers beyond the original question now at
Anyways,
this point.
sorry. We're
Yeah,
just,
but this is
just
what people
reminiscing.
tune in for.
Oh, yeah,
Brian.
chat, let's
That's
go.
what
What
the Good
was the
Talk
question
is
that
for.
sparked this? The exploding.
Mortal
Oh,
wounds.
yes.
Yeah,
Biggest explosion.
56 is a lot, though. That's more than we've ever taken.
But it's not that far off from the flying headbutt.
Close, yeah.
Yeah. But that is epic.
Yeah.
Especially the Necrons can't regenerate from it. It's really rough. Like if it was a lot of it was your army, which I must imagine.
Oh,
it
this
had-
was your Silent King.
Yeah, well, it had to imagine that it was a lot of the Necron army dies from it because they're all in his aura range, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
I assume that you.
The 56
that
is
they at
counting
least
your own
landed
stuff.
in
No, it's got to be
before that.
both. It's got to be both. At 56, it's got to be
It was
both
two
armies.
Silent Kings.
Yeah.
Exploding.
It was a chain reaction.
Which they actually, if you put them both on the table, they instantly explode.
That's true. Magic rules.
Yeah.
Old magic.
Old
Old
magic
magic
rules.
rules. That's right. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Devin. Hey guys, love the show. Dungeon Master showed me, and now I'm a member.
Ooh,
very
welcome.
cool. Thank you. How would you build a competitive 2,000 point list around a Dark Talon? Never played it.
Ooh.
Build a normal list, put a Dark Talon in it.
So you want? It's all about stacking those
That's the
minuses to hit, right?
Flyer, right? That's a Dark Angel Flyer?
No, that's the.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
the
that's
Dark
the
Angel
flyer.
Flyer.
Sorry, I was thinking of
You're
Dark
thinking
Shroud.
the Dark Shroud.
Dark Shroud.
Yeah, the Dark Talon, I would only put one in
Yeah.
and use it as some utility shooting. I used it against you when we were playing against Eldar.
Yeah. I like two of them, I think.
Do you?
And
Because it's enough to get the
if
job
you're
done.
gonna play with it, which I'm getting 2. We're going to be playing that. But I actually didn't dislike the list that you had when you ran them. It was very Raven Wing heavy, right?
It was, that's right.
Very mobile, lots of attack bikes.
Put the pressure on.
Yeah, which is super cool. Maybe if you're trying to make this a scarier list, you don't take the Black Knights, but you take...
The Black Knights are overpriced, yeah.
Yeah, you take some Deathwing,
Now, Adrian,
you
you
take
do
some
mean
Inceptors.
Black Knights here, right?
Yeah. No, I said I did the thing. I actually did it right. You're taking out the Black Knights, which is the Raven Wing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to...
I did it. It's only been like 3 months since that book, and
You can go back and check out this game. This was Raven Wing against Craftworld Eldar. We played it a little while back. It was pre-codex.
It was index time.
It was index time, but the
Ooh.
Dark Talon hasn't changed much since then.
No, the Dark Talon's still great. Still has Jink and all that good stuff. So something along those lines I think is genuinely interesting.
And all you're doing with it is you're putting pressure on, because it means that some valuable unit of theirs that's behind cover is at risk, and you never even have to shoot at it. You just put the fear into them.
Because it's so even in that game, right? You went into my Wraith Seer.
I took it out.
You took it out, and it was more. It's large. Like the damage is great, but it's also in the mortal wounds. It's a weird sort of threat that keeps people honest.
Yeah,
and I
the
was
Hurricane
totally
Bolters
hidden.
were killing Guardians.
Yeah, totally.
So it's a fine model.
It's cool. We'll get it soon.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Scarredcast, this is Scary. What up,
what's up,
Scary?
Hey, what's up, Sky?
I hope you're still here, but I have my doubts. This was a long time ago.
Sorry.
Keep on doing what you do. Inspired gamers all over the world. Shout out to the WTC team Canada. Can't wait to travel to events again.
Oh
that'd
yeah,
be
that's
great.
right. Well, thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Likewise. If you guys don't know Skari or the Scarred cast,
Yeah.
he's a very well-known Drukhari player. Does
true.
awesome content, and definitely go check it out.
I always wondered if I tried to join like one of the teams, would I try to join the Canadian team,
Right.
or would I try to join the American team?
It's a lot easier to get into the Canadian team because there are fewer Canadian Warhammer players.
Wow.
Okay.
Qualifying that.
Hurtful.
There are orders of magnitude
So he's just
fewer
saying
Canadian Warhammer
he's making
players.
a pure math argument here.
Pure
Yes.
math. He's like, all Brits are saying, and this is his words, not mine, there are fewer good Canadian players than playing Warhammer.
Statistically,
total.
it has to be true.
Which is related to... not, not percentage.
I don't hate Canada. I'm not making any claims about percentage of the population
Go
that's
eat a
good at
coffee
Warhammer.
crisp.
Yeah, exactly. That's your penitence.
punishment.
Yeah.
Well, again, thanks, guy. Appreciate
Thanks.
it. Yeah, I can't wait for us to be playing again. So, yeah, we'll have to go up to an event in Canada at some point.
For sure. Yeah,
that'd be
there's
cool.
plenty, and could definitely connect. There's a lot of great people making content there.
Get some
It's been
poutine.
too long since I've been to Canada.
I told you not that long ago I found that poutine place.
Yeah.
And
I've been going there a lot.
I've been going.
Really?
All the time. Like, it's all the way in Berkeley,
It's,
which is like an hour away.
Yeah.
But I'll just be like, I'm getting poutine right now, and I'll just go get it.
You're wildin'.
It's too much.
Nope.
You're wildin'.
Everyone
It's-
knows that you have to eat at least a pound of poutine minimum
Too
at a time.
much. I could not
Yeah,
finish
he
it.
cowered it up the second
time. I just didn't get the poutine.
just didn't order the
because I knew I couldn't eat
You
it.
didn't even try.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
but I did get it
Wow.
basically poutine, but slightly
You got like a poutine
different.
grilled cheese, basically.
It was a grilled cheese sandwich that you dip in gravy.
Oh, that sounds
So it
cool.
was like poutine, but swap
And I think they
the
made it with
fries
curds.
with bread.
They
And
made
they
that
did make it
cheese,
with curds.
So you got like the kids' meal version.
Yeah, he did.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a reasonable port. It was like 800 calories
Yeah,
instead of 2,000.
See, that's rookie numbers.
It was delicious.
Yeah, you gotta pump those numbers up right there.
All right, thanks, Rowdy. Have any of you used special FX on a model? For example, a small piece of dry ice in the hollow of model with vents drilled in appropriate places, like eyes or smokestacks,
That's really cool.
to simulate smoke coming from the model.
That'd be intense.
That would be wild, but it would last like 10 minutes, and games take 3
Yeah,
hours.
you put it in at the start.
You just keep putting it in.
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
Just-
Oh my god.
None of my models have anything like that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people would do a lot of LED work.
That's a much
Yeah.
more common FX.
I don't love the LEDs, to be honest.
It can be done super well, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I think it. True, and I've seen some good ones. Not to
Yeah.
like, I'm not talking smack about all of them, but I don't like it when it makes it feel more like a toy. Like the lighting of an LED is not
Right.
the correct lighting for the scale, and so it reminds you that like it's a teeny little thing, as opposed to like painted lighting, which is like appropriate for the materials, like
Sure.
stuff like that. But I've always wanted to put a speaker in a battle wagon. You know, that's
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I like the remote control Land Raiders.
that's cool too. That way you can run
those-
over more scarabs.
Yeah.
Look very toy-like, though, because they use toy motors.
Yeah.
Like they...
But it's
They
pretty
operate
cool.
like an RC
It would be
car.
awesome. Like you put the dice down, and then you get the controller and like drive it to where it's allowed to go.
That'd be so cool.
It's so cool.
You like hit something like, oh sorry.
And then it has to have like
You would
sounds
crush
where you can like
somebody's model,
make the gun sounds where it like lights up and it's like you know, like it makes those like gun noises.
You're like, you got your dice, like, hold on one second.
Yeah. Hit the button.
It's not enough for Brian to play with toy soldiers. He has to really play with toy soldiers.
Yeah, listen, I'd do it. Let's amp this up.
All right, thanks, Omniscience Sphinx. What's more tankier? I like it.
Yes.
Than Dark Angels Terminators or the Custodes? Well, one of those is a lot tankier than the other. But
Fair.
Okay.
So what's tankier than Dark Angel Terminators?
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing?
A unit
Mortarion?
of...
Maybe.
Mortarion on his own is natively
Because
tankier.
it's
He's just
not a
always
point for point. He's like he costs more.
So, but
And
He's
he is,
very, very
is this
tanky.
all the buffs on both things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the buffs on both. Like a 10-man squad is what, 30 wounds of Terminators
Sure.
at -1 damage? Mm-hmm. And then can't be wounded on a 4-up and 6 up feel no pain.
And 0 ups in cover.
And Morty.
He has bad armor.
So Morty's got
3 up
basically
armor.
the equivalent of a 4-up. He's going to get a 4-up. He's going to -1 damage and then a 5 up feel no pain.
He'll be -1
So
to
the
hit.
Terminators are even stronger.
He'll be -1 to hit too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the Terminators are stronger if you take a full unit of 10, obviously.
But that would be the same number of points, basically. So
True.
that's what I'm saying. Taking a full unit of 10 is the best way to compare
Yeah.
it. And he's only half the wounds of that unit. So
A unit with crisis suits with iridium against Hive Guard. That's pretty tanky.
it's
I learned that today.
Well, it is unless the first time you roll a 1
I know.
and then it dies. Because literally it only takes one
That was
Hive
the
Guard to
thing.
kill a
I was
single
like,
guy.
all right, I can do this. Let's go again.
Yeah.
And you're like, and it's still 2s. And I was like,
That's the funny
it's still
thing
2s.
about why that unit isn't as good as it looks.
'Cause
is
it's
that
only
as
1.
As soon as that guy dies, the unit is dead. The unit's
unit
dead in the
can
water.
get
so weird,
Anything
yeah.
can kill it.
Yeah.
Whole unit's gone.
Yeah.
And it's a 500-point unit.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we've also played with Shadow Fields before, so
Yeah.
it's the same idea.
Exactly. The whole point is you never are supposed to roll a Shadow Field. Because the first time you roll it, you will fail.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you called my bluff.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Steven. Sullivan won this week. These are the two guys
Yeah, of course.
who play every week, and the loser has to super chat.
That's right.
He asks, if the Tabletop Titans crew were to commit an Ocean's 11 style heist, what roles do everyone play, and how successful are we?
Oh, man. Now we all have to fight over who gets to be George Clooney.
No, I don't want to be George Clooney. No. I don't want to be the face. That's hard.
I have spent a lot of my life like recruiting people
Yeah.
to do jobs.
Yeah.
So I feel like I could do the pitch
You can be the
where I
face.
recruit people.
I agree. I was going to say.
I think it could happen.
That's a good argument.
I'll be one of the specialists.
Does this have-
who
Bridger
has
would be the person
some obscure talent.
that we fold into the little container and he has to stay in it for a day.
That is not my obscure talent. Like, fitting in small space is not my strong suit.
I
But
mean, we haven't tested that theory, though.
like, I'll be the guy who knows exactly how to get a spitball.
You're the hacker
like,
in
a
the
little-
van. You're the hacker in the van.
Yeah,
You're the guy in the chair.
Yeah,
like,
he's-
literally.
I'd be chill with that.
He's the hacker in the van.
Like, please.
So I
please.
think that's pretty clear.
Yeah. I don't know what I would be.
You're the one who we send in to like be the charmer who has to like
Yeah.
distract the people.
Oh,
know what I mean?
yeah.
You're like the high
Roofie.
roller in the casino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do I get to wear a bow tie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Of
okay,
course.
cool. Sounds
So
good.
I think that's it.
Yeah. All right.
we
did
did
it.
it. And how successful are we?
Immensely successful. Clearly.
What do you think we're doing right now?
Yeah.
We're actually robbing a bank as we
This is the
speak.
long con right now.
Yeah.
This is
that's not good.
pre-recorded, actually. We're right now in the bank
Yeah.
robbing it.
We recorded this years in advance.
It's the perfect crime.
Yeah.
The perfect crime. All right, thanks, Alex. I've just pulled my old 4th and 5th edition Ultramarine Firstborn army out of
Nice.
storage.
Oh, nice.
I was wondering how playable a list you think it could make.
Absolutely playable.
It's definitely playable for
Yeah.
sure.
They actually made Firstborn Marines totally good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, especially if you have things like Vanguard vets are
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Yep.
The funny thing is, from then to now,
Yeah.
troops were a big emphasis then. You would have a lot of TAC Marines.
Yeah.
Now, Firstborn, the things that are interesting are not TAC Marines.
True.
It's the
all
specialists.
the specialists.
specialists.
You want an army of specialists, and then
But the
some
thing is, TAC
intercessors.
Marines can still, like, using them now compared to using them in 8th edition, right?
Big jump. They're a lot better now.
Huge jump.
That's true.
The two things you gotta appreciate, they're a tiny, tiny bit cheaper, not that much cheaper.
Yep.
What they lose is they lose 1 AP on their guns, which hurts. It hurts.
In attack.
They lose an attack which is also a little rough. The other thing that's harder to appreciate is they lose access to certain stratagems.
A lot of stratagems.
Yeah, to several key stratagems. But in exchange, they gain access to transports, like cheap transports, like Razorbacks and Rhinos, in particular. Drop pods are another example. But classic units like Terminators, Vanguard Vets, even Devastators can all be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
It's all the specialists. They're great now.
Yeah, the Stern Guard I'm less excited about than I was in 8th actually even. But they, with the right weapons, they can be good.
Yeah.
But Brian, just play them as Tyrannic War Veterans, your Ultramarines.
Yeah, well, if you're
And they'll be
the
the
Tyrannic
wrong
War
price,
Veterans are weirdly priced.
and their guns are old stats, so
Yeah.
they're good.
Yeah,
And
they're
this
weirdly
is
priced.
Ultramarines, isn't it?
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
Ultramarines, yeah. The Tyrannic War Veterans, if you own them, they're weirdly priced. But even like the old Honor Guards and stuff like that, they're totally solid.
Yeah, and even like, so the characters are mostly just a little bit worse, but not in many ways. It's mostly like a wound and some strats, right?
Yeah.
But like for things like your Librarian, your Apothecary, if you have those around, the things that they do is just as amazing, whether or not you're Primaris.
Yeah, and sometimes it's better if they're on like, you know,
bike or
jetpack,
jump
when
pack.
they used to have bike. Not many of them have bike
Terminator
anymore.
armor, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it totally works.
It's really cool. I actually, at some point, I really do think we should try to find like a battle company and play that at some point on the channel. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'd be
It's
great.
like total old school.
Yeah.
Bring Dusty.
Dusty. Isn't Dusty Primaris?
Dusty is Primaris.
Yeah, but he's Dusty.
Interesting.
All right, thanks, Endless Fight. Hey, Titans. White Scars list with a chaplain on bike, 6 Outrider troops, aggressors, impulsor, eradicators, and Corsaro. Any speedy Primaris units that don't have my buddy and me, Marine, somewhere on or in it.
There's a lot of words in that.
What does that mean? Inceptors. I'm just going to answer your question. Plasma Inceptors.
Yeah.
They're fast, they're Primaris, and they pack a wallop.
Really good with White Scars because you can advance and shoot without penalty.
And you have Khan to give them full rerolls. Khan is also really good for his +1 to wound aura, so almost anything you bring gets leveled up by him, so that can be really big.
I don't think he's Chapter Master though, actually. He's just Captain.
Corsaro Khan?
Yeah.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Is that true?
He is not the Chapter Master. That's correct.
Oh.
So that's the one downside.
Oh.
He's just some guy.
Yeah,
Actually, turns out.
It's like Adrax, he's just a captain. He's not actually...
Exactly.
Mr. Earthshade, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully you answered that question.
Mr. Earthshade.
But it sounds like that's the only thing I didn't hear mentioned. Everything else I love. It's great. It's awesome.
I would probably not take Eradicators as White Scars.
No, I think they're fine. The
It's
thing is,
radical.
you can't advance in double shoot.
That's correct.
Which is makes them just worse than Plasma Inceptors.
Yeah.
But they can still be great.
They can still fall back and shoot, which is normally like you fight Eradicators by tagging them, so you can't be tagged. I agree. It's not as ideal as Inceptors. Also, I don't know if you mentioned Librarian, but
Should get a Librarian in
a
there.
Librarian, especially because of these two units like Eradicators and Inceptors, you kind of need an invuln in your army. Otherwise, you can get nuked.
True, but also if you take the Storm Speaking discipline, you get that +2 to charge spell, which I do work. So you could put the relic for
Tome
the
of
Tome of Malkador and have both.
Yeah.
The downside to that is you don't get the other relic for +1 to cast, but
is
then
really
if you're
good.
just a Chief Librarian, then you've got it as well.
Yeah.
So now you're investing a lot. You're giving a World of Trade and relic to this Librarian, but it would be one of your MVPs every time.
All right, thank you, Flesh Creature. Hey, Titans. New to Drukhari and was wondering what you guys would consider to be their most important strats. Thanks.
Oh,
Well, Vect is free now, and it's an important decision
I
on
don't
what
think
to
it's that
use
big
it
of a
on.
deal.
No, but it's an important decision on what you use it on.
Sure, but if it didn't exist, it wouldn't impact the army at all. We're
No,
saying
but
most
it
important
does
strat.
exist and it's free, so you have to know what to do with it.
Fine, fine.
Like, it's a part of the army that you need to know.
Sure.
You're both right.
I think you're answering a different question, but I agree with if that was the question that was asked, I agree with
It's
you.
a strat that you'll use every game, Brian.
No,
It's a key
actually.
strat.
You if you remember, sure.
If you, I know.
You
I
won't
often
necessarily use
forget.
it to good effect every game, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
Okay, what are some great strats that you can use all the time?
Without the expansion first. So not Cult of Strife.
Without Cult of Strife.
Not
Cult
Cult
of
of
Strife has
Strife.
some great ones.
Lightning fast reflexes is now 1 command point, -1 to hit. It was already good, but now making it 1 command point means you can use it way more often.
Yeah.
And you will.
The new Fire and Fade, never stationary.
Never stationary. That one
worst
is worse
named
now.
strat.
Because it's named worse. That's actually the worst thing about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You have to say it.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's worse.
going to be never stationary. Like, what? You moved? Does that?
Right, you had already moved.
You already
so-
weren't stationary.
Yeah,
What am I
yeah,
missing
yeah.
here?
But it does cost 2 command points now, so it's less common.
For some reason, I always thought it cost 2.
I know.
It always should have cost 2.
Common perception.
It should have always cost 2, so I think that's fine.
Yeah. Can we talk about the expansion now?
Yeah, Cult of Strife.
Cult of Strife, you have the
Wait,
ability.
what about your competitive, the biker gang fighting each other? That's a cool strat.
Huh?
No, that's just a fun little trick.
Oh, no.
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 We're talking about important strats, not just cute ones.
Yeah, what are you trying to like sabotage? Anyways, in the Cult of Strife rules in Warzone Caradon, if you are looking into Drukhari, definitely get those. The ability to turn off Overwatch against a unit, so your unit of Hellions, your witches go in. The ability to move through models and terrain.
Game winning.
Huge. Reroll all failed wounds, important because you have low strength witches.
You know, a little strong.
If you want to kill the unkillable Terminators we just talked about, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
I should probably stop there, right?
We already named
those are good.
And that's why
Those
we
are
like
main
Cult of
ones.
Strife. The strats in Cult of Strife are so good.
It's everything. It's
They're so
everything. Yeah.
And
what I-
strats to give your characters extra warlord traits and relics.
Those go,
Because they're busted.
For sure.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Their characters are so good.
Yeah. And those are literally all the strats I save my command points for during a game.
Yeah.
Essentially. Like, I actually don't spend on many others because they're so good. They'll be like, oh, you still have 6 command points. But it's like, because, when I go in, I'm going to spend like 5.
Yeah.
You know?
Alrighty, thank you, Nicholas. Hey, Titans, starting to build a Sisters army. I want to differentiate them from my melee-focused White Scars. Tips for convictions and army composition.
So not Bloody Rose?
So not Bloody Rose.
Not Bloody Rose.
Which is obviously one of the strongest ways to play the army.
Yeah.
But what would be like a more shooty faction?
So I would either go Martyred Lady.
Yeah.
Where once you've lost someone, you get +1 to hit.
Yep.
And normally that sounds like a bad idea, but Sisters are tough enough that they actually can make it work. And genuinely, Valor's Heart is interesting.
Yep.
I agree.
That's what I was going to say.
So both of those, right? Both of those play a bit more into. One is more into shooting. One is more into durability. But ultimately, both need to be able to be durable, be shooty, and fight. So it's a mix, right? And
that's where the strength of that army is. It does everything.
yeah. I probably would tend towards Martyred Lady because you also get Junith.
Yeah. She's cool.
She's cool, and she gives the rerolls to wound.
And it's a classic style.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like classic paint scheme for you.
Well, that's Valor's Heart, but yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Martyred Lady was the
Martyred
classic
Lady is
paint
very
scheme.
similar.
Oh, okay.
But it's a bit different.
Yeah, okay. It's like reversing the white and the red.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Super Reedy finally buckled and got myself a gladiator. I know it's
Nice.
easy to just swap the weapons out, but
It is.
if I glue them in, that's just a great reason to get a second, right? Right?
No, get a second, and then now you could play them as anything.
Even impulsors.
I'm
Even
the kind of
impulsors.
person who actually does glue things that could easily be magnetized and just buy another. So I'm already this kind of person.
Yeah.
This kit was too easy to do this with, and even I was like, nope. It all just push fit basically. I did magnetize the main turret weapon just because it was droopy when you push fit, and I wanted it to kind of sit nicely, like it would be glued.
My gladiator.
Yeah, exactly. So I did magnetize that, but it was the easiest magnet job. I didn't even have to drill anything.
Oh, that's nice.
And so you should do it.
Yeah.
And again, the ability to turn it into an impulsor, I love that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we haven't mentioned it. I know Super Reedy must know this because they avidly watch our show, but what's the one build that you actually really want for it?
The Reaper.
The Reaper.
Yeah, or the impulsor.
Yeah,
Those
exactly.
are
Either
two
kit,
good
use it
builds.
as an impulsor.
Yeah. So,
Is it the same price as
No,
an
it's more
impulsor kit?
expensive.
no, they're not
Because
that.
it comes, it's the full impulsor kit with more stuff.
Yeah.
And with actually like a decent amount of more plastic.
All right, thank you, Levi. Hello, all. Thanks for
Hello.
the content. Just got back from my first local tournament and saw 5 Mortarions and 6 Knights lists. As a new Bloody Rose player, what would be my best bet against Mortarion Retributors?
Yeah, even as Bloody Rose, Retributors are the way to do it. I do think if you're not running St. Catherine is very interesting against Morty because you just need more miracle stuff to happen.
More miracles.
You need miracles
More
to beat
miracle
Morty.
dice and
More
the ability
miracles.
to modify them.
Yeah, exactly.
So 2 of these Melta squads go in,
An immolator,
and you can,
I'll do 2 and 2 emulators.
yeah, and then you've got the immolators.
which also
And
have
the
meltas.
fact is, you've got 2 cherubs in each. You can use only 1 cherub per turn.
I don't think
you
there's a
could,
limit.
I think you can use both.
Yeah, so that's,
But you start maxing out on your miracles, right? You get
and you don't want to start wasting.
2. Yeah. So in theory,
Don't want to squander a miracle, Brian.
Yeah. And you have a simulacrum so that you can use up to 2 miracles, or does Catherine give you a third?
Oh, she does give you a third. That's right.
Ugh, that's ruthless.
It's gross.
It's really nasty.
It's actually really
So,
gross.
you might-
you're going to run out of miracle dice in this one phase.
Honestly, yes. So use your Bloody Rose abilities to get Crump in, pop some miracle dice, generate that early because you're going to need to start working on him early. But I think that's the way to do it because the melee is just
The sisters can drop him so easily. Let's be real.
They can do it.
Like,
it's
no.
swingy, it's swingy, man.
It's one of the best.
They're one of the best armies to deal with.
Could you name a better one?
AdMech.
New
Mars.
AdMech, yeah.
No, do you know why do you know why I disagree with you?
Why?
I'm going to give a big disagree.
Okay.
Because every Sisters list have the models you're talking about. Almost no AdMech lists have the models you're talking
true.
about to kill Mortarion.
Yeah.
So it's like, how often am I going to show up with AdMech and happen to have the Mars robot bomb?
But
That's
new
not
AdMech.
the only
Most
way
of the
to-
time.
No, I think that's a trap. It's like, it is really strong, and it's going to win you half your games, and it's going to lose you half
But
your
here's
games.
the thing. Mathematically, 4 robots still kill Morty. Like, you don't need to take 6.
Okay, fine. So even if you're saying it's good, the Sisters are like on par.
I really don't
No?
think so. Because here's the thing. Their melee doesn't kill Morty at all.
Sure.
It's all completely nerfed. You lose all your rerolls, you go down to 1 damage, you can't kill him. So it's only the Retributors, of which he still is -1 to hit. You're still wounding him on 4s. And
yeah.
he has a 4+ invuln. So like he needs to fail some, and then you can try to throttle it. Right?
Yeah.
And so like it's still very swingy. Like
Fair
they
enough.
can do it, but I'm nervous. I don't know.
Fair enough. We'll try one of these days.
We should.
Yeah.
Well, we should math it and then see what actually happens.
Well, it's one of those things that even if you math it, it's clearly swingy. So
Yeah, it's not enough.
somebody's going to have a bad time.
Yeah.
Either one person's going to lose their Mortarion instantly, or the other person's going to kill nothing, and Mortarion's going to chop everyone.
Right, which is why we haven't played it on stream. But.
That's what Mortarion is. He's swingy.
Yup.
Alrighty, thanks, Austin. Yep, thanks, Austin. Brian, what entity did you sell your soul to in order to roll 6s every single time, determining turn order? I swear, every game for the past 2 weeks, it's a 6.
Yeah. Not all to your benefit, though.
Not always, that's correct.
Brian, as your legal representative here, you don't have to tell people.
That's true. I don't have to incriminate myself, right?
Yeah.
That's true.
The name of the patron is actually not pronounceable by human lips.
That's right.
So it's all good. He's not in danger of,
But the closer you get to it, the more your body starts to just bleed outwardly.
Yeah.
So you're best to not try it.
Not recommended.
All right, thanks. Budiga Boy, what do you think about damage spillover from blast weapons and melee weapons like in
cool.
Sigmar? I don't think blast needs a buff.
Last
No,
say
but
that.
okay, but more spillover weapons in general, because there's some in the game.
They got
I
rid of them is so weird.
like that it is a special, unique thing. I think when you have spillover,
Yeah.
it's a cool, fun thing. In Sigmar, everybody has it, which means it's less interesting when you have it, because everybody has it. And when in 40k you do have it, it's like, oh, that's so cool, your flail.
Yeah.
And historically, it's been flails. Like flails and
Yeah.
really big maces have spillover.
Yeah, right.
I agree. It's
That's
just
cool.
It's more design space.
I like it as a mechanic that
Yeah.
sometimes
Yes.
exists. Because there's a lot of tactics in how you order your fighting
Yeah.
and how you choose to allocate wounds normally based on this. And there's a lot of smarts that go into it, right? And I like that level of tactic. It's one of those things that's like not in the book, but an expert can just eke out these extra little bit
Right.
of efficiencies from. And just makes you feel like a clever little boy, you know? You feel you came up with your little tricks, you got perfect efficiency.
Yeah.
It's great.
Exactly.
But in terms of blast doing that, that would be
Last doesn't need
maybe
any more
a couple of blast weapons. Maybe battle cannon. Battle cannon needs a little help these days, I think. Everybody's taking demolishers instead of battle cannons because they're just so much better.
Sure, I think you could put it on. I think you could put it on more weapons
Right.
than there is today. I don't know that it needs to be correlated with blast.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could see, like if you had like a multi-damage flamer and it was to carry over.
Flamers, maybe if they spilled over, that would be cool.
Yeah, right. Like there are,
They're
there
mostly
are
1 damage, but yeah.
but there are
There are
rarely
some, like the
right.
plasma
there are
flamer?
rare. Plasma flamer is, and obviously the flamer boy needs to get stronger for
No, sorry. I think the Bale Flamer is 2 damage as well. So.
Yeah, right.
And
the
everyone knows
Bale
that
Flamer
needs
is-
help.
Right, and the chaos hell flamer that was on all the Leviathans and stuff. They used to be 2.
Yeah, it used
I
to
think
be.
they are down to 1 now.
They are, sadly. That Flamer was a nightmare.
We
So
could
like,
take-
oh, you tagged me?
We can take the fire pike, push that up to damage 3,
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Actually,
and then spill over.
the funny thing is, it's like, yeah, it's still on like an 80-point dude. He has 1 flamer. Like, it's
Yeah.
not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like, there's almost nothing you could do to Custodes that sounds too unreasonable, because it's still just like 15 dudes on the board.
Well, it's funny
Like,
'cause-
you can handle them.
Yeah. And it's like almost still strictly worse than just having more shots.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Unless
like-
it spills. Oh, the spillover makes
The
it.
spillover
kinda-
would fix it.
The spillover fixes it.
Yes and no. No, because if you had 3 shots or 1 shot that's flat 3
Because
that spills over,
it could go.
1 save just stops all
It can
right,
go awry.
right?
That's true. He's right.
All right, so like 3d6 shots at flat 3 damage. That's what you're saying. I'll take it. Thanks,
Yeah,
Adrian.
let's do it.
I like it.
No saves.
No saves at all.
Thank you, Carter. Hey, thinking of starting a Crusade army over the summer.
Nice.
Help me choose Night Lords, Iron Warriors, or Alpha Legion. I play Imperial Fist normally. It's got to be Alpha Legion, right?
The Night Lords are pretty tight.
Night Lords are dope, but you got to be able
Crusade.
to paint lightning bolts.
That's so tough.
The Alpha Legion gives you a lot of story opportunities in a Crusade as well.
Yeah.
That's a
You
close
could
one for me.
put your
opportunities,
fists
It's almost
in,
too many.
Like,
It comes down to how cool of a creative thinker you are.
yeah.
You got to maximize those creative opportunities.
Yeah.
I love
That
it.
would
I'm
be
going
my
Alpha
answer.
Legion. I'm going Alpha Legion.
Okay, yeah. If you're willing to do it, because you got to do it justice, you know?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Eximus Reaper. Hey, Titans, love the content as usual. So it's a great night. So it's a great night. All the chapter masters go to a bar together, and things get rowdy. Which chapter masters are fighting, trying to defuse it, or cheering on, and who wins? This is going to require us to know who all the chapter masters are.
Well, the Imperial Fist one gets in a fight, and he gets killed, which is great, because then finally Lysander can be the chapter master, and I'm a happy boy.
So Lysander, there's a little bit of a scrape, and Lysander is just shivs him in the back, and they're like, "Oh no, you killed him!"
So dishonorable for Fist.
But Lysander, and ultimately Lysander will have a very short run as chapter master because he'll get crushed underneath the chin of the Emperor's chin.
That's true, but that's also why he's playing it so ingenious, because he's an old man. Nobody suspects him of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then Torgaredon's just like,
yeah. No, Torgaredon. So
can't
he's
see past
he's
his
like,
chin.
I'm
His chin is
Lysander's
here.
I'm chapter master now. And Torgaredon's like, what? Turns around and the chin knocks Lysander out and he dies.
no!
And so he's
My
chapter
boy!
He's chapter master for 1 minute.
Yeah,
Not even. It's 20 seconds.
Oh, it hurts me deeply. But actually, I'm okay either way. I just want a chapter master model, please. Come on, James.
Yeah,
Why'd you give us another captain? Why? That's my answer.
Okay. I think you've done enough for all of us. I think Calgar.
He would try to break it up.
Calgar would try to break it up.
Yeah, but he has giant fist hands.
So he's just killing them as he's doing. He's like,
like,
hey,
"No,
you,
stop it.
you over
Stop
here, you
it."
over here, and he just keeps snapping their necks.
Oh God, the horror!
But as we learned, his D3 fist hands are actually
yeah.
No, he
baby
looks
gloves.
he looks like he thinks he killed them, but then it's like, oh no, they're okay, and they just stand up. And they're like, no, it's fine, bro, it's fine.
The Nerf hands are popping back out after they hit the guys.
Man, he sucks.
All right, we did it. Thank you, Wanny. I think the important thing to ask after this game of 8th Ed armies is, what do you want from them in 9th? Well, I want a
questions.
total Tau rewrite, like we said, frogs in squared-off battle suits.
Yeah.
It's actually mostly a combat-based army. Kroot.
The drones are the leaders, and you pass off wounds to the suits. The suits don't even have weapons. They're just there to jump in front of the drones. And it's really the drone uprising. And they've enslaved the Tau. Right?
Yeah, I like it.
This is actually good. And it progresses the story.
It does progress the story. It's great.
And it's really just chaos scrap code. That's like, they're actually the chaos drones.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it.
I can see this.
I'm about it. I'm really excited to see the Tyranid 9th edition codex.
They could do work with it.
It could be so cool.
The monsters need to be terrifying.
Oh man, yeah. I have high hopes. Yeah, better monsters, more tricks. It's another codex that, like we've said,
Keep their psychic powers.
keep the psychic powers, keep fight last,
Keep most of their strats
everything.
even, actually.
Yeah. Like, it's got great bones. They just need to improve on some of the
bones.
baseline things. Good bones.
Yeah.
You're always so weird when I say that.
No, it's him that's weird.
No,
I love
no.
repeating it.
No,
He
Brian,
just say
it, and
you
then he
made
gets
it weird. Like, Adrian said, this has good bones, and you were like, yeah, the best bones. They have great bones.
I love pushing it.
You made it so weird.
It's good bones, yeah.
Somebody out of the three always has to try and make it weird.
Yeah, that's true.
how the entertainment comes out of the weirdness. You got to get to the edge.
That's
At a Tau, I want them to be very fast. I definitely want them to shoot well, but I don't want that to be their only identity. Yeah. I think in many ways they need to be a bit more like an Eldar, where speed is their identity,
right?
And even not trickery per se, but just utility, right? Like they all should have a good amount of utility, and their weapons need to be up to the task of killing a modern, Deathwing Night Squad or something. Like, need to be up to the task of killing the scary things out there. But how to make that army work, it's not an easy one. And it's one of those books with a lot of deep cuts that they've just never figured out how to make work. And they kind of create this build where like only this is viable.
Yeah.
And I really just hope that that book, they can kind of bring everything to a similar level where there are genuinely different builds, not like builds where you just sub out 500 points for like whatever your flavor is. There's genuinely different builds. That's what I would really hope, because there could be, you could have the whole vehicles and infantry and suits and
Imagine
stealth.
seeing a Storm Surge on any table.
Right, right. Well, these days that's not going to happen. No matter how good they make the Storm Surge, the fact that you pay 3 CP for it is a non-starter.
What if
It could be a heavy.
No, it's definitively a Lord of War. I'm fine with it being a Lord of War.
A Gorkonaut's a heavy support.
Yeah.
How much longer do you think that's going to happen for?
Oh, I hope it's not doesn't become Lord
Oh,
of War.
you just hurt Adrian's feelings.
Oh God. Well, I only have 2. I have to get another one. No, I have to
No,
square off.
don't get
Square off
another.
in 2. Okay, we're good. Yeah, that's cool.
But that's what I'm saying. They made a mistake on Lord of Wars, and so
Yeah.
I would rather them keep it a Lord of War and fix the
and
mistake.
fix Lords of War.
That's fair.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. Yeah, I love that model.
But not for Tau. They're not going to do it for Tau.
They're not going to fix
They'll
it
fix
for
Lord of
Tau.
War, and then Tau will have a rule that undoes the fixing.
Yeah.
Because they wrote it.
But
yeah,
for
yeah.
Tau, specifically, you still have to spend all your command points and they get nothing.
Naturally.
right.
Naturally. Yeah.
All right.
It's the lunchroom at Games Workshop strikes again.
Thanks. Magnus did some things wrong.
I think that's accurate.
Is Heroic Intervention just a charge for all characters that avoids Overwatch, aka the Tyrant could have moved up to within 3 inches of Crisis and heroically intervened into them? You cannot heroically intervene in your own turn.
Correct. Or it would be so broken.
It would be
Yeah. That would be how it works. Yeah.
dumb.
There's only one army that can do it,
That's right. Black Templar.
and it's the Black Templars.
But it's not Heroic Intervention, Brian. That's just a pile-in out of nowhere.
That is correct.
Is it a pilot or
It
is
is
it
a pilot.
consolidate?
Just a pile-in.
It's just a positive. If it
before
was a
you fight.
consolidated, it'd be worse.
It'd be way
Before you
worse.
fight.
It'd
Yeah.
be really bad.
It'd actually be awful.
Yeah. But yeah, that hopefully answers.
But you heroic intervention only in your opponent's turn.
only in your opponent's like at the end of their charge phase.
So they have a chance to get outside of 3 of you, even to charge outside of 3 of you.
Yep.
And then they can pile in now to within 3 of you, but you lost your chance to heroically intervene.
Right, exactly.
So we do this every
All the
game.
time.
Yeah.
It's a critical part of every game. Heroic intervention is a huge part of playing the game
Yeah.
at a high level.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. Suburban Rats. That's a cool name.
Nice. They're all typing this question together.
Yeah, they each get one key.
All the rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a keyboard made of rats.
Yeah, but they're suburban ones, so they all have like cardigans and stuff on.
Yeah.
And Starbucks.
Yeah, they're very affluent rats. Anyways.
I don't know. I actually I have a hard time picturing what these rats are doing.
Well, we're about to find
But
out.
thanks for the question.
Trying to start a small Dark Angel army with what relics, powers, and warlord traits should I use in 1,000 points? Also, what would be a centerpiece unit that I should look for?
Oh, so I would for sure take Ezekiel,
Sorry, what army is this?
Dark Angel.
Dark Angels.
Angels.
1,000
Ezekiel
points.
for sure. I would like to take Azrael, and I think he's cheap enough that you can. But barring that, still some other captain if you really push for points. But Ezekiel is like you must take.
Ezekiel's awesome.
Absolutely. 1 unit of infiltrators as your troops,
Okay.
and a couple units of Terminators.
Yeah, you're out of points.
That's probably it. You know, you get maybe.
That's, yeah.
So you're mega durable, but you'll lose the game. Because
You
you
think?
have, you're on like 1 point. Like,
It's a small board.
yeah.
It is a small board, 1,000 points.
Yeah.
I think Dark Angels have an unreasonable advantage in anything below 2,000 points. Because you will not kill them,
No, so
and they
so
will
you
just
don't
walk
have
at you
missions,
until you
Some of
die.
the missions still have a lot of objectives, right?
Yeah, but nobody holds.
So I'm thinking
There are
two-
some
two
armies
units
that
of
have
Terminators.
so many
I would
little-
do 2 units of Terminators.
2
not
units
one
of
block.
Terminators. So there's 3 squads.
What if you did 2 command squads?
Yeah.
In-
That's the
2
secret
little
weapon
babby
here.
squads.
in a, yeah.
The
I'm
secret
down with
weapon
that.
is the command squads.
I'm down with that.
Now we've turned it into like it's an unreasonably strong army.
Yeah.
Like if you had 2 command squads, so you got a command squad in your backfield, no one can ever touch it. You got a command squad over there that deep strikes and takes that. You've got these main Terminators to hit into their hammers.
Actually,
now
yeah.
you've won. It's lights out.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't take if you're trying to be really nasty, yeah, you don't take the infiltrators at all so that you're a death wing
Correct.
detachment, and you take,
Yeah.
because the command Terminators aren't OBSEC, but you take some regular Terminators or death wing Terminators so that they are OBSEC.
Correct. Yeah. You're gonna win.
Very
good.
strong.
That's
Thank
not
you.
too many models to collect, which is, if you're getting started.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a good way to
like
do it.
2
This is something we could paint
boxes?
this army. We could build and paint this army in 2 nights,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
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 It's pretty easy if you could find the models.
That's the toughest part these days.
So
true.
tough, man.
Thank you, Maxwell. Is a 10-man Hellstorm Heavy Intercessor squad viable with Chaplain for +1 to wound and hit with HBR CPT? heavy bolt rifle, captain, and Eye of Hypnoth, how to use with fists. Ooh, well,
Hellfire? What?
you don't play fists.
No, fists are good with this unit.
Sorry.
Fists are fine with this unit.
Can you read that again?
He's basically buffing up heavy Intercessor squad. Can it be good?
Yes.
Yeah, of course it can.
Yes.
This is actually one of the main ways to make it good.
Yes, exactly. That's the only way that I would play the heavy ones, and I've done it on the channel a couple times now, and it's the way to do it. You take a chapter master with them, with fists in particular in a weird way, and you get all the buffs. They're really durable. Get an apothecary in there. They're hard to remove. They put a lot of damage out.
Yeah. It all of a sudden becomes a ranged damage unit that's relatively well priced and actually overly hard to remove. It's like a trap to remove, right? Because when you finally kill enough models, it's like, who cares? These didn't cost me anything.
Yeah, exactly. And your T5, you've got a 2-up going into a 1-up on cover because of your strats against 1 damage.
Correct.
So you can't. It's good. It's really good.
It's good. Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you, Chris. Can Brian blink twice?
If
Probably best if you blink before.
No, it's best if you blink before. All right, cool. Brian, can you blink twice if I can stop worrying about the Tau Codex? Also, I'd love to see hero phase force multipliers like bombardments for mortal wounds using marker lights. Also, MOW doctrines and new marker lights. Master of War doctrines.
Yeah. I think you can definitely stop worrying because all the books have been really cool.
He covers his eyes when he's
Right?
casting.
That was one blink. Oh, there was 2. All right, we got there.
Jeez. It's all the codexes have been great. They've been putting a lot of creativity and originality into all of them, and nothing you can do to impact it right now. So definitely don't worry on that regard. There's many things that I hope they address and change. Maybe I'm sure the marker lights will change. Maybe they'll become dark lances.
You never know.
Maybe the marker lights
are dark lances.
are actually the 3 plus D3 damage.
Yeah. Naturally.
And +1 for the rest of the army to hit.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
But
they
they're
are all
mortal,
lasers.
But they're mortal wounds now because you're actually calling in an airstrike.
That's right. Oh, in regards to that stuff,
Why don't Tau have airstrikes?
Well, why don't every army have
I was
airstrikes?
going to look at that stupid
It's all
strat.
Everyone has spaceships.
I'm looking at
This
it.
game needs more airstrikes.
No, because the thing is, if you acknowledge that there's airstrikes that can just solve all their problems, why are we fighing at all?
Yeah.
Well,
That's the whole point.
That's been a problem in 40K forever. Is like, why don't they just destroy every planet?
Other than like the orbital bombardment, it's largely like you just don't do it. And so there's obviously some reason, we don't always have to state it, that you can't do that. There's an important asset. We're fighting over objectives. They're not actually markers in the narrative, right? You know that, right?
They're sewer grades.
They actually, they actually
go to
represent
nowhere.
like intel that they're gathering or something that they have to pick up or whatever, right?
But
so there's
like,
a reason you're not just
They
blasting
worked
them from
hard in
orbit.
30K to like always come up with a reason why you can't just wreck the planet, right? Like
Yeah.
during the Crusade, they were mostly on human worlds and they
Right.
wanted to
Yeah.
recruit the humans, not kill them.
Or they were trying to conquer the planet to populate with humans.
Yeah, and they didn't want to make the world uninhabitable by
Right.
just like
It was
destroying
resource
it.
acquisition of some kind or another.
Yeah, the
in
planets were
40K,
valuable.
that's not the case.
Yeah, 40K, I feel like they would just nuke more things from planets.
And they do
from
in the
space,
story
which
all
I'm
the
sure
time.
They do.
Sure, but not all the time. Well, not every time.
Yeah.
Like there's reasons.
Like hundreds of planets a year.
Yes, but there's thousands and thousands, It's like the same argument like, wow, there's like so many Custodes. It's like, yeah, that's because you're playing the epic battles where the Custodes were
Happened to be
right?
there.
It's like, you don't tell the boring stories. It's like, hey, let's play a game with 40K where you get nuked off the planet. Like, no. Let's do like the 1 out of 20 where they actually fight on the planet, right?
This is the Avatar problem, where like, there's only a movie because they chose to do the boring, or like the interesting but clearly wrong thing.
No, I disagree.
No idea what you're
I
talking
think
about.
you're
The
saying
Avatar movie.
Uh-huh.
They were spacefaring. They had a spaceship,
They
and they
did.
lost to archers. They
Uh-huh.
could have just bombarded them from space. They could just drop a wrench from space, and it would kill people.
No, but you're giving an
Space
example of when it's done badly, and you're saying that 40K is done badly, but not actually providing
But
evidence.
no,
of
but
this.
Avatar can only exist as a movie. It's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
It can only exist as a movie because they did the dumb thing.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, that's true.
like
Sure.
But this is a
logic
sci-fi
conquers
universe.
narratives.
This is a sci-fi universe where the same rules apply. So yeah. But
Yeah,
anyways, I think
they're
it's a
good.
bad mechanic on the battlefield. So it's very rare. But lots and lots of armies have it, of course. My new officer of the fleet can do it.
Well, Space Marines have it, but it comes later on, right?
Yeah.
They definitely
It takes time.
Yeah.
There's a delay.
Chat, you're saying there's occasional audio distortion. What do you?
Really? No!
What?
I'm just upset about this.
Oh, I thought you were like. So these antenna, when they touch things, they do strange.
That's true. You can't have the antennas touch a lot of other electronics devices.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Which is
Was
pretty
I doing
standard.
that?
I mean, mine was over here, so it could have been me as well.
All right. Well, chat. Let us know if
see.
that happens again, and try to tell me what it sounds like.
Did we answer that question?
Yep.
We did.
All right, moving on.
But
Yep.
no, just to top that off, going back to the beginning of today's episode when I said you had the strat for aerial targeting, and Bridger was like, "That's silly."
No, you called it aerial spotters,
Okay,
which is
it's-
exactly the
yeah,
guard
but it's
strat.
called aerial targeting.
targeting.
Yeah.
So it was very, very close. Yeah. Cool.
Well, I called it something silly like space lasers.
Yeah, you were like, they would use space lasers. Like, no, I knew it's something
Mine was
similar.
clearly a joke.
Got it.
And I deliberately decided not to correct any of you.
Because
And I moved on.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. It was a loud buzzing and popping, and then it stopped.
Well, thanks for letting us know.
Thank you, Mickey. If you command reroll a failed psychic test or a failed charge roll, you reroll one or both dice.
Good question.
You do. And P.S.
Sorry, wait.
What?
You do what? Answer the question.
You reroll both. Yes.
It's definitely both.
Both.
It's both. It used to be one in 8th edition,
man.
which is where you might get confused. Bridger, the most unhelpful answer ever. It used to be one or not two. It only could
not
be one.
be both.
But now they forced it to be both, which is both better in some cases and worse in others.
Yeah.
Generally, it's mostly worse.
Yeah.
But there are times when I like it more, where it's like I have a 3d6 charge and I get to reroll all 3 dice.
Yeah,
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I like it because I get to reroll double ones.
that's true.
And then P.S. would love to see more AOS games.
Me too.
When is our
Yes.
next AOS game?
Very soon. Adrian needs to finish painting up a character that's been sitting
It's on the
shelf.
calendar over there,
This
right?
new book, this Bellacore book, has some rules for Tzeentch in it.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it has rules for Night Hunt also. Like it's just
It has a smattering of updates for a few
it
different
has
things.
Seraphon
yeah.
rules,
Weird.
Night Hunt rules.
Seraphon rules.
It also I know.
Yeah, the Night Hunt I'm excited about.
And then
yeah.
it also has some, I believe, some Tzeentch rules.
Yeah.
So
And of course Bellacore.
And yeah, of course Bellacore.
Yeah, it may throw a wrench in what we were planning on playing, but which is fine.
Yeah.
You know. Well, if it has Tzeentch, that's good. We can still play Tzeentch.
Yeah, because that was gonna be the next army I played was my Tzeentch demons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's cool.
We'll see. It's very soon. We'll announce it soon as well.
Nice.
All right. Thank you, Dan. The tourney is the good, the bad, and the ugly, where each faction is split into their respective category. Imperial's good, Chaos and Necron's bad, Xenos ugly. Excuse me, sir, Necrons are Xenos. So, also, Xenos aren't ugly.
And they're so shiny.
Tau are beautiful. They're cow people. Anyway,
That's true.
and your games earn points for your faction.
that's fun.
That is a fun, yeah.
You
There's,
have to make sure there's kind of like equal distribution, which is rarely the
Sure.
case, but
Yeah.
that could be fun.
there was a narrative tournament like that at LVO one year.
Yeah, I've seen things like this.
That's super cool.
They're very cool.
I like it.
It's neat.
Thank you. No, we did that. Thank you, Mike. Do warp heads or other multi-psyker have the ability to do a psychic action as well as psychic abilities, or just one or the other? Psychic actions
Right.
preclude you from doing any other psychic powers for the remainder of the turn.
Yeah, even if you could cast like 6 powers, if you do a psychic action, you lose all the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's worthwhile, like if you ever plan to do a psychic action, you have to like deliberately bring a psyker who is a throwaway for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is why Weird Boys are tough, because you generally only want one. The reason you make them a
Yeah.
warp head is so you get more utility, but you're not getting. You'd be better off with 2 warp heads.
a warp-
2 regular Weird
Yeah,
Boys.
a warp like a weird boy is one of the worst models to do a psychic action with for so many reasons. But one, their powers are pretty necessary to the army.
Yeah.
You don't have that many HQ slots, so it's not like you can even get more.
No.
Right.
The other problem is that they are prone to dying very quickly. Not only do they blow themselves up and die,
Yeah.
but they're super easy to kill.
Yeah.
And that means that if you're ever trying to do like any psychic action, your opponent just can ice them or they'll kill themselves.
Yeah.
And then you've got no points.
Yeah, it's tough,
So it's potentially one of the worst psychers to try and do a psychic
Yeah.
action with.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I think psychic actions stopping you from casting other powers was an important and good design choice.
Agreed. Because then it's
Otherwise-
all benefit, no downside,
Right.
and it always needs to be a trade-off. And honestly, we've, especially near the start of 9th edition, we did a lot of games where we had the psychic secondaries.
Yeah.
Like I've done ritual, I feel like 7, 8 times.
You
And it's almost
famously roll poorly on ritual.
but I always still get my 15 points,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever failed ritual.
You always roll a 4.
Because you only take
Yeah.
it when you know you can get it.
That's right. Yeah. So it's the board has to give you opportunities, but you also have to design your army to make use of it.
It's true.
All right. Thank you, Super Edie. Who would you guys cast in a Tabletop Titans documentary movie? Let's include Melon's Act 2 and take advantage of the fact that they're not here to give input.
Who would we cast to play us as like a dramatization of Tabletop Titans?
Oh, God. That's so funny and so fraught.
I cannot give any answers to this question.
Let's only pick people from the Ocean's 11, going back to the roles we played then.
Oh, gosh. I don't know those movies that well. George Clooney plays everyone.
George Clooney's all of us. No, we need a famous actor who's good at playing many characters. But
Danny DeVito is everyone. He's got to be in one of the Ocean's 11s, right?
So what about just the cast of Always Sunny then, at this point?
All right.
Okay.
So
who's he?
I can't, it's too mean.
It's too mean.
No, but people say that about me a lot.
That it's too mean?
No, that like... There is a character.
DeVito?
No. Do you think he's the Danny DeVito?
No, I'm not
He's
Danny
not the
DeVito.
Danny DeVito at all.
Danny DeVito.
No.
Which is there an obvious answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not Dennis. Oh, it's
It's not Dennis.
no.
You're the Dennis.
I am. Dennis is a horrible person.
Wait, they're all horrible
Okay,
people.
that's true. That's kind of the thesis. What's his name? I can't remember the name.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's the Charlie.
I get that a lot.
You're the Dennis. I'm the Mac.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like we could trade those. We both have qualities of either Dennis or
That's
Mac.
fair.
And that makes Zach the Danny DeVito,
Danny DeVito.
which is perfect.
Which kind of fits.
It
yeah.
kind of fits
Yeah,
actually in
it's
a weird way.
Yeah.
All right, we did it.
Mel's
And
character set
Mel
up too.
gets Sweet Tea.
Yeah. Nailed
Nice.
it.
It's perfect.
Very cool.
It's perfect, right?
Yeah, it kind of does actually work.
Yeah, we did it. All right. Thank you, Rob. Tau gets a new unit in the form of an auxiliary race. Who is it, and what makes them different from their existing Tau infantry? Kroot. They make an actual Kroot. He has 2 attacks, and he has AP at least 1.
It's a totally different species. It's called the brutes.
B-R-O-O-T, the
It's
brute.
very similar, and it just makes the if the Kroot are nearby, they have an extreme jealousy where they just wish they were stronger.
They Primaris scaled Kroot.
Kroot.
No.
What would be a cool alien race?
A cool, like a non-joke race.
Yeah, non-joke.
So not the Mushermen and not the Krork. Okay.
That's true. I think I want to see, there's the Vespid are cool because they're aliens that then have Tau technology kind of intermixed with them in a way, or Tau-looking technology.
Yeah.
And they don't do that enough. Like the whole idea of the Tau empires, they rarely actually share their tech.
Right.
I would like to see aliens mixing the Tau tech a little more rather than just their own technology.
That'd be
And I
cool.
think you could take a wacky alien species like the Vespid, like some sort of weird bug type thing, but really integrate it with Tau technology more, and I think it could be really cool.
I have a couple ideas. So one, we've been talking about how to give a melee unit to Tau, and largely I really still like this idea of the brawler, right? And tangentially, obviously thinking about a gloom prism, but some either an alien race that's just very big, burly, ogre type dudes.
Yeah.
So they're good in melee.
Like giant gorilla people.
Yeah. Or you do completely opposite.
Literal gorillas.
Literal
Yes.
gorillas. You do the opposite, where it is a very tiny, frail but psychically powerful race that maybe pilots Tau
Fairies.
mechs remotely.
Literal
Oh, yeah, so
fairies.
So you could maybe
It's almost
do
like the
psychic.
Tau aircast, really thin,
Yeah.
like the gray aliens.
Yeah, maybe they're just some goop or something, right?
Yeah.
But the idea is that they're controlling these things remotely. You could do cool stuff. You could maybe do psychic if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But
That's
and
kinda
it's
neat.
still a brawler. It still
Yeah.
gets in there.
It's neat. I dig it. Rock'em Sock'em robots controlled by goop.
Oh, got it.
Good.
I don't know how I didn't see
But
that.
someone can deny them, and then they can do a spell to deny the
No.
connection, and then they just instantly stop doing things. They have stupidity tests every turn.
It's a great mechanic.
Beautiful.
All right, thanks. Salvinus, hey Titans, longtime viewer, first-time subscriber.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
As a big Space Wolf fan, I haven't felt too much trouble with the new book. What makes you say we need to work harder to make it work? That's not exactly what we say.
Well, we're saying that the book doesn't have perfect synergy. So it's a combat faction in the sense that most of its buffs go to combat. That's how it wants to win the game. It has some immense strengths in combat. It's highly efficient. Each unit is efficient. You're playing off Space Marine datasheets, which are solid. And there's some cool level up kind of strats and warlord traits. All that's great. All the other combat factions have really impressive delivery mechanisms in the form of stratagems, advance and charge, raw speed, outflanks, better deep strikes, whatever. This faction has virtually nothing to deliver its key units. Now I know, cool, you can advance and charge with the wolves, but because they're cavalry, they're so cumbersome. It's not like they advance and charge with a fly unit. So keeping them behind cover, they're not fast enough to threaten very easily. And so this army has a huge problem getting the charge.
Yeah.
And you compare it to other armies that are combat-centric, the White Scars, the Drukhari,
Blood Angels.
Blood Angels. They get the charge, and that's where the Space Wolves lose out.
Totally.
I think additionally, after they get the charge, all those factions have amazing combat buffs. +1 to wound, +1 damage.
Their buffs
reroll
are
all
even
wounds.
better.
Even better. The Space Wolves buffs are not bad.
They're not
good,
bad.
but they're not +1 attack and +1 damage and +1 to wound, right? Like it's not all
reroll
these
wins or
layered
whatever, yeah.
stacked buffs.
Yeah.
So the army, like a really normal style of play, like I can screen this army, shoot this army, I can charge and fight this army. Now they have a lot of fight last, so you have to play around that. But just like normal screening against this army can be lights out. And which army can't like quickly throw stuff up the board to screen? I'm not saying it's a bad army. I'm just saying you have to work harder. That's all.
Yeah. How did I miss Frog People when we got asked for a new Tau Auxilia?
I'm pretty sure you said Frog People.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
When they asked about new Tau Auxilia.
Yeah.
It's Frog People.
Yeah.
And in the next edition, they're replacing all Tau with the Frog People.
Right.
Makes sense.
Nailed it.
All right, thanks. Martin, this is Dark Angel Martin, back again.
Hey, what's up?
Strikes again. Thanks, Martin. Hey, Titans. Sorry for not stopping by for a while. Work and my masters have been crazy hard, as well as training for the World Championship in clay shooting. That's dope, man.
Hey,
You're
awesome.
doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Keeping it busy.
A lot more than I do. However, the show, your studio intros are better than ever. Much love.
Thanks
Thank you.
so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
Putting the work in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chlorinator. Bridger, I think the Eldar thing you want is called the Court of the Young King. I believe it exists in lore, but not in game.
true.
Big Exarch Boy Squad. They should make it BL-10 thing in the new
Yes.
codex. I knew it had to exist.
talked about this.
Because it's too cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool.
It was cool.
This was one, I used to play this back in the day, and it barely we barely decided not to put it in the Armies of Renown.
Oh, you
video.
know what? We decided to put it in, and then we just forgot to mention it.
That's true.
It
filmed
was
the whole
like
thing.
one of the things on our list that we wanted to talk about.
It was one of the first ones I put in, and then we
Yeah.
like filmed it, put everything away, and I was like, huh, we didn't talk about
Because we forgot.
We're like,
Yeah,
wanna
we
get
just
lunch?
forgot.
Yeah. So
I knew a squad of Exarchs is too cool of an idea to give up. Because it's like a heist movie, but
Yeah.
yeah.
in a unit.
It's cool.
It's
I
cool.
really hope they bring it back one day.
All right, thanks. Ergen Claw. Hey, Titans. Pulled the trigger on a starting Red Scorpions army with Cullen. Is the Forge World book... the Forge World book is just a suggestion. Could I use Iron Hand Successor instead?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Go for it.
Yes. Thank you again, Martin. I remember finding your first video with single-digit views on the Combat Assassins, with Brian talking like he was teaching bomb disposal, and Adrian being like, is this actually a serious thing? Look how far you've taken this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Those first, because when I first started the channel, I wanted to do like hardcore tactics. And as a job, I just give presentations about like
Disposing of bombs.
business topics, like business topics, you know what I mean? And so I started making the videos almost like I was giving like a PowerPoint presentation,
Right.
you know what I mean? And it was very like much like a lecture,
Yeah.
you know? And then as we went on and on and on, it was like we had to like loosen up, make it more of just like we're having fun here.
Yeah.
It's less of a lecture, less scripted. Also, those were very scripted.
Yes. Yeah. We've gotten much better about constantly processing new Warhammer
Yeah.
material and presenting it in a hopefully cohesive fashion.
Right.
And that first Assassin series of videos, it's just like there's so much. How do you present it? How do you do it?
Yeah,
so there's
right.
a lot of like learning even in just those early days of before we even knew if it was going to be a thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being a fan for so long.
Yeah, thanks for...
Thanks, man.
Sticking out.
Thank you, Michael. I've never even played my Guard and Dark Angel armies, so of course, I'm thinking of a new one, Thousand Suns.
Naturally.
Are they interesting, even if not strong? Have a good weekend.
I would
think
say
they're
that's exactly what they
Yeah,
are.
that's-
Interesting, if not strong.
That's exactly it. And I think because they're interesting, they will be really, really fun to play when they get updated. You know,
Yeah.
I have total confidence.
There's
in
a
that.
lot of room to make them cool. If you
Yeah.
saw what they did with the Death Guard, It showed you these kind of one-off chaos factions that they're giving the love.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that they'll make it good.
Yeah.
Go
I
for
think
it. It's a
one of
great
the
faction.
cool things about Thousand Suns is you can get a lot of mileage out of like the same collection. With all the different cults, you can keep playing it a different way.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, just changing up the psychic powers can change the makeup of the army a lot.
I wish they did that more with other small model line armies, like Harlequins and Custodes. I want to be able to get multiple playstyles. Like if I can't buy more different new units, give me different ways to play my same unit.
I totally agree. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Thank you again, Martin. Also a big shout out to Bridger. Not only have they kept you around throughout, but they've even put you on your very own Golden Throne.
That's right.
There it is.
He deserves the Golden Throne.
I was waiting for it.
I earned it.
He keeps the Astronomicon alive that allows us to navigate the internet and keep this show to you.
That's right.
Sometimes there is a shadow in the warp, though.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
but not always the mics. That's
The
a different thing.
light of the Astronomicon has gone out before.
It has.
Yeah.
Those were dark days.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Wamputron. Still love your name. Great show. As Deathwatch are supposed to be spec ops, what if they subtract strategic resources from opponents, i.e. CP,
Cool.
after heroic deeds like Space Wolves? That would be cool.
It is cool.
I think it's cool, but it can be feels badsy, and that's why they probably won't go there ever. But yeah.
They had the Calidus assassin,
Right.
who would double the CP costs. Now they have Vect, which adds more to the CP costs.
But they've done it, if they do it like Vect, right? Because Vect is important because it says, okay, the next time you do this, it's going to cost more. It's not like, okay, you could choose to not do it, or you at least can plan for it.
I think that was a mistake, actually. I think they
it was a mistake.
underpowered Vect.
I think they underpowered Vect.
Better than the feel bad than it was before.
I would rather Vect
I'll be honest.
cost 1 CP. So it costs 1 now, but it immediately takes effect. I think that would be cooler.
That's a tricky one. Hard to balance. I think it's somewhere in between there.
I don't know what you guys are coming
Somewhere in
from.
between there,
I feel you.
But I think they could have a strat, a thing, or whatever that is like one of these other abilities and eats a bit more CP. You never, over the course of a game, want to take more than like 3 from an opponent, right? Like even 3 can start to cost a lot.
Yeah.
And so they gave everyone more CP to let them play with their fun toys.
Yeah.
Right.
And taking them away it's like less fun for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks again, Martin. Brian and Adrian, what is this talk about Custodes getting half damage with no minimum? Only Dark Angels deserve that kind of durability. Push back on that one. He's supposed to be the anti-broken rules.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, don't you guys know? They're going to get half damage, no minimum. So 1 damage does go to 0.
Yeah.
They're going to get an upgrade on their data sheet where you can pay, let's say 30 points, to hold a Dark Angel in front of you like a shield.
Oh, no.
So they're going to stop bringing Storm Shields, and they're just going to like hold Dark Angels in front of them.
That's so dark.
How have I
And,
not thought about modeling this before?
Yeah, listen, I think that's the real tactic.
No.
This is genius.
They just keep them in their weapons closet, like hung up. Like open it, it's like, my lord, yes.
The Dark Angels just like accept it. They're like not even upset. They're like, hello.
They just can't do anything about it.
They're
They're like,
powerless.
yeah, heresy.
Yeah,
Oh, man. Get on it, Bridger.
This is great.
right?
I love
solved it.
this. Thanks, Bobson.
Bobson.
1 CP for Bridger. Custodes 30k Tribunes now have 40k model. What are the points, profile, and rules that it has? There is a Tribune. There was a special edition Tribune model.
There was. They didn't
40K?
give it any specific rules.
They didn't give it rules for 40k, but it like the model exists. You could.
I have it.
Well, yeah, that's what he's saying.
Well, they
So-
have captain commanders, which are like tribunes now, though.
Right.
So that's the whole concept of the Tribune, is it's just like an upgraded. The Captain Commander, in my opinion, is the equivalent of the Tribune.
Yeah, I think they need a horn though.
Yeah?
I don't know. The name Tribune evokes in me
Horns?
The
You know, in
idea of a
30K, they
dude
don't have horns either.
blowing a horn.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
The Tribune is just like, because they don't really have captains even. They just have like, you're kind of in charge.
You're in charge today.
Yeah.
You're on shift.
They have, so they do have people who rise to be heroes amongst
Right.
heroes, but that's all it is. It's like, just give them an extra layer of rules. That's what the Tribune is, extra layer of rules. That's what Captain Commander is, extra layer of rules.
You know what Custodes need? There's a funny part of their lore where like they degrade over time, very slowly.
Sure.
But they do degrade over time, and the like minute degradations lowers their rank. And like the older you are, if you're slacking, like they'll put you in a prison somewhere, and you'll just like
You're a
manage
warden.
the prison.
Yeah, you're a
because you
warden.
suck.
Whoa.
Well, no.
And we should have that.
So one of the groups that you can play as are the Wardens.
One of the shield hosts.
Yeah, one of the Shield Horse are the Wardens, right?
But
It's like
I
a whole
want
bunch of old guys.
a model to represent this that is like cheaper but has worse stats.
So you want a cheaper Custody.
Yeah.
Like the old timer.
Yeah.
Something I never thought that he would say.
Well, he's still
Custodians
half damage, no minimum.
Custodes would kill for cheap troops.
Oh, so they're like really weak.
I mean, like
They're like in their
even-
pajamas
Yeah,
now.
they're in their pajamas. Yeah.
they're supposedly like a small step above Space Marines at their late stages.
Oh,
of the war.
wow.
But they're living very, very
They live
very
for
long.
like
They're living longer
tens
than
of
Space
thousands of years.
Yeah, of
you know,
course.
like
Yeah,
they live
yeah.
for a long
Marines.
time.
Yeah, not quite tens of thousands, but yeah. Not quite.
I mean, they didn't exist for that long.
That's
so-
correct.
Well,
they didn't
Thun-
exist for that long.
Thunder Warriors still exist.
But those are not Custodes.
And they degraded and went
They're
insane too.
proto-Custodes.
Do they
They're
still
like-
exist?
There are some people that claim to be Thunder Warriors who are in the lore.
I thought in 30K they had killed out most of the last of them, but
Yeah, that was the whole point, yeah.
there was like individuals who lived on. There was one that lived on as like a gang lord in Ontario.
But
Okay.
he died.
In Ontario.
well, I wasn't going to say that, but yeah.
He died.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Wow.
But there are some that like live in the outer reaches
Yeah.
of the galaxy and stuff because
They're
they
like
know
little
that
warlords.
they know they're hunted because they're
Yeah.
like bad dudes.
Yeah.
They're also miserable because they're genetic abominations at that point.
Yeah.
so
They're like,
cool.
kill me.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they just wish death.
This is amazing.
Yeah, a lot of lore just came out. Anyway, wow, Stacks.
I don't even remember the question, but
Stacks,
yeah,
you're tilting me. I'm tilted.
What?
Stacks referred to the book where Custodes gets his spine ripped out. But
Oh, no.
So there's a fully armed and armored custodian
Yeah.
and a naked World Eater. And the World Eater just like
Oh, that's metal.
Mortal Kombat.
I know what you're
him.
talking about,
It's
yeah.
so
You
stupid.
You can roll ones.
No.
Does happen.
It would never, ever in a million years, fully armed and armored custodian guard
It probably
against an
shouldn't happen.
unarmed World Eater.
Yeah, but it's
some highly defective.
the power of chaos too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so upset.
Look, if
when
you
I
don't
read
take your armor in when it gets a recall, that's your own fault.
It's true.
it. It's also on Terra, so like any
He forgot to zip it up
concept,
in the back.
any concept of like
He's like,
He left his spine exposed.
like chaos powers intervening. It was on Terra, like in a dungeon.
He was in a prison, yeah.
Jeez.
It should not have ever happened. Super tilted.
But you know what? It did.
did.
Yeah, it's canon, I guess.
Yeah.
Stupid canon. Thanks, James. Thanks for the great content. It really helped me get through having COVID-19 when all I could do was watch videos.
Well, glad you're
glad to
you're
help.
feeling better.
I'm glad you made it through.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support.
Thanks again, James. For fun Craftworld, Expert Crafters, Wrath of the Dead, what would you take besides Wraithblades and Wraith Lord? I'd play Iandon if it were worth it.
Me too.
Yeah, I feel you. That sounds like a cool way to play that kind of stuff.
I just back it up with some troops.
I mean, yeah. So it sounds like you've kind of decided to like your main Wraith units, so we can take non-Wraith units as well now. So
Yeah.
Dire Avengers.
Even just Guardians.
Yeah, I actually like Guardians.
I like
now.
Guardians, yeah.
And then with Expert Crafters, you can take still take some like I'd still take like Wave Serpent.
Agreed.
For your Wraith Blades with maybe even missile launchers at that point because you're getting the rerolls and stuff like that.
Sure.
Just back them up, and obviously Farseer, Spirit Seer kind of deal.
Makes perfect sense.
You're kind of cooking at that point.
Yeah, I think we did it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, it's kind of just better than I ended right now. So.
Agreed.
They gotta fix Iandon. Yeah.
They
You gotta fix the whole. You gotta fix the whole thing.
All of the Xenos books, if you've noticed, have like chapters that are just
Well, the last
Terrible.
edition, they did this thing where it's like one thing was clearly the only good thing,
Right.
and everything else was never playable.
was an afterthought.
Yeah. They didn't bother to make everything viable.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, thanks, Reuni. Hey, Titans, would Custodes be better or unbalanced if they had their Horus Heresy stuff, bonus attacks, and Ghost First Tribunes, Paragon Blades, Valdor? Please bring back Valdor.
Yeah.
There's like hints that he's coming back. There's
He's like a Primarch bringing him back.
rumors
That would
that
be
he's
so
coming
cool.
back,
But
that he might not still be a good guy. That's what I've heard.
I have heard that rumor.
'Cause he's-
I don't know where it's actually like.
The King in Yellow, which is like a Lovecraft reference
Oh, that's right.
to an existential horror.
Right. But why would he be next? Because he's like chaosy now.
If he went to Chaos, we're done. Like, that's a problem.
that could be cool. Yeah, their 30K stuff is good, but it's not. Funny enough, it's not even enough. There's a few 30K things I've commented before where they have way bigger unit coherency.
That would be cool.
They have 3-inch unit coherency, and they have weird things like they get to move through cover. You know, I don't know if you remember 7th edition rules. Moving through cover is actually really hard,
gosh.
and they move through cover really effectively, which gives them a huge advantage. And so, there little things like that do add up.
Always fights first would be nice.
They have a wacky rule where you get to assign wounds You don't have to keep assigning wounds to the same person.
Yeah, you can like mix them around. It's so
So
funny.
you can get them all down to 1 wound, but they're still not
That's
dead.
so oh
It's
my
dumb.
gosh.
And very few things in 7th edition or in Horus Heresy have multi-damage, right?
Right.
And so it ends up becoming really, really hard to kill even a single Custode when you're mixing the wounds around.
How it should be.
And so those are cool tricks that they could find.
It would be dumb. I don't want that.
I know you know.
But Fight First would be cool because it would like help deal with this problem where on the charge they never do anything.
Yeah, Fight First that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with it.
Alrighty, thank you, Kurt. Amazing. Hey Titans, last year I ran a Warhammer 40k themed D&D campaign.
Cool.
Without using any outside sources.
Nice.
Merging the two worlds was a lot of fun. It took place aboard a rogue trader ship, visiting various worlds, working for a suspicious inquisitor.
That's great.
With a similar idea, how would you guys play? Character ideas, preferred setting.
Ooh.
We would have to pick a
I would
conceptual
say
power level, because
I would-
like I would want to play a custodian, but that wouldn't make any sense in almost
No,
any
yeah.
campaign.
it would be hard to make that work. Yeah.
So we would have to pick a conceptual like.
In the normal role playing, people don't really play as Space Marines.
They play humans.
Right.
You play like AdMech. Like I would try to be like maybe like a tech priest type thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of fun. You
Yeah.
do some cool stuff with that.
I think that's the way to do it for sure. And that's kind of why things like the Inquisitor and the Dark Heresy kind of is based around that.
Yeah.
Could I be a
What you can do.
Tempester?
Of course, you could.
be
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Fly
Yeah.
around.
And then you have to have some premise why these people are randomly together, you know.
You could be
Well,
like a
there's-
rad sister of battle.
Yeah, I'll be a rat
multi
sister
mel.
battle. For
I
sure.
mean, like that happens in D&D too. You know, like we meet in a bar and like there's always some stupid premise
You
that's
meet in a
like
space
this
bar.
is why we're this is why we're together. You know,
Yeah.
we could come up with some nonsense premise like all of our ships crashed on a planet and now we're here.
But only one of each of us.
Yeah. Well, how many people do you think survive spaceship
I
crashes?
think if you're a rogue trader, like rogue traders have a retinue of like interesting people.
Yeah. No, here's this. Here's my
Like
D&D
Blackstone.
campaign. We've all been captured by the Dark Eldar, and we're actually like arena fighters in Komorra. That's why you have these 3
That'd be
disparate fighters, and set scene go right. How do you escape
Oh, I'm a
from that?
Slith.
No. The thing is, you just said you can't change it. He's like, I'm a snake. I'm like,
Yes, I want to be the snake.
I was trying to think of a reason why they're all together as prisoners. You have to be part of the Dark Eldar.
it would be cool though to have
I'm
a
pretty
plan.
sure the Slith they'll still get to fight in the arena.
Yeah.
Or maybe
That's
I'm
my
like
answer.
maybe I'm one of the guards, but I take pity on you
Yeah.
because that's I become a nice snake.
Oh, so you're
A
the one
snake.
good drow in the whole
Yeah, a
world.
snake
I
with a
see.
I'm
heart.
the one good drow.
Yeah. You're one of those players.
Yes.
Oh my God. DM's like, oh, just one good drow.
Yeah,
he's a
I'm the
warm-blooded
necromancer
snake.
with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
Who's just trying to bring back his dead family.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right. I think we
Nailed it.
nailed that one. Thank
For
you,
sure. We just
Jonathan.
played a whole game.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan. Hey, Titans, building up a Space Wolf's army. Have Logan on Storm Raid.
On the sled.
SR.
On the sled.
Super
about it.
reedy. Njal and Ragnar, 3x5 Assault Intercessors, 2x3 Blade Guard Vets, 1x5 WG Terminators?
Wolfguard.
Wolfguard Terminators
Yep.
with double claws, 2x4 Thunderwolf Cav with mixed double claw and Stormshield Claw.
Fun.
That's cool.
450 points left. What should I add? You don't have any dreadnoughts.
How
Get
much?
a
I didn't hear much
Bjorn.
shooty either. Did I hear much shooty?
No.
Yeah. You need a bit of
Get
shooty.
Bjorn in there.
Bjorn's okay. He's pretty pricey, and I don't know if they have HQ slots left.
That's true.
They do not.
So you don't always want to grab another detachment.
I refuse to say Inceptors.
Yeah, obviously Inceptors are great. Radicals are
Confabulators.
great.
If you want to pull down on Inceptors,
No,
you
they're
take
awful.
Confabulators.
They're not great.
They're not good.
Yes. That's why
This
they're
is
pulling
suppressors
down.
that we're mentioning.
They're
Yeah.
step down
But
from
yeah,
Inceptors.
one good shooting threat. Your choice. Pick your color of shooting threat.
Yeah.
But one good shooting threat would be a nice addition.
Yeah. Even long things can have they're not obviously the worst, but they have play.
I tried to make them work, and it was okay. Like I was playing against orcs, which is like anything can be
Pretty
good
good
against
against
orcs.
orcs, yeah.
And they were only okay.
I think they're worse than Confabulators.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Okay, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Choice of shooting.
but a bit of shooting
Totally
would be
agree.
the way to
Yeah.
go.
But it sounds cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's a cool list.
I like the symmetry in that list. I
Me
really
too.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I liked it too. What do you got?
Yeah, thank you. I was reading the phonetic spelling that was the first part of this super chat. Thank you, Schmebulok. I
Thank
think
you,
I nailed
Schmebulok.
it. That is a Gravity Falls reference. that you DM'd me and I didn't watch. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
That was only 2 days ago. And I was sick for one of those
I've
days.
seen like 2 episodes of Gravity Falls.
I've seen 0 episodes.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Shmebulok. Gravity Falls reference, although I didn't mean me bloke or sh me bloke. I didn't me bloke. I don't know.
How much of this is he reading and how much is he saying? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I like it though. I like the whole thing.
I'm just watching it unfold.
Thoughts on base kits to convert into Ork trucks?
To convert into Ork trucks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because Ork truck is a great thing to just convert into other things too.
Yeah.
You know what's good? The Torox Prime. I think that would be cool to build into an Ork truck.
That's totally great.
Yeah.
For sure.
Even the Gene Stayer called vehicles could be fun.
Yeah.
Ooh,
man,
rock
you guys are
grinders?
Rock grinders?
Yeah, we're nailing
I
it.
like it. That's great.
Now your turn.
That's great. Well, one thing I like to do is I'll take like rhinos and combine them with other kits, partially the truck. So like one, actually, I need to finish it up so I can show you guys on stream. It's the back half is like the sides of the rhino, and then it's the center of the truck and just like the front kind of cab. And so it's this like elongated kind of truck with like rhino tracks in the back. And that way you still have like half a truck kit and half a rhino kit to make your next truck, right?
You could take an impulsor and turn it into like an El Camino.
Yeah.
You know, where you put the wheels on it. And then you take the little metal pieces that are used on the sides for the grav, and you just kind of stick them to the sides as armor plates.
Right.
Yes.
I love it. That's amazing.
It could work.
You take the impulsor and you use those plates to make tank tracks. So now it's just a rhino.
That's great. But it's got the little spot in the back for all the boys to chill.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
It's perfect.
It's pretty great. Thank you, Colt. Tau idea, plasma, 30-inch rapid fire 2. Didn't we? Oh,
So
this
the
is
plasma gun.
We're modifying the concept.
Yeah.
30-inch rapid fire 2, strength 7, AP 3, 1 damage. HHRR? RR's reroll. HH.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hooty hoo.
Hooty hoo reroll.
Okay.
Which means if you say hooty hoo, you get to reroll your 1 to hit and 1 to wound.
Yeah, I don't know what the...
Yeah, I'm not sure.
H1, strength 16, d6 damage plus your wound roll, or damage d6 plus 1 mortal wound per marker light.
Wait, that was for the railgun? Or the rail?
This is a plasma. This is a
the
rapid
plasma?
fire 2. So this gives 4 shots?
No, but they said heavy 1. That's a different profile. There's two
Oh, this is
profiles
a
in there.
different...
Now we're talking about the,
Got it. Heavy
rail
1,
rifle.
Yeah.
strength 16,
That's
damage...
what the HH rail rifle is. HH...
Hammerhead rail rifle, not hooty hoo
Hooty
reroll.
hoo.
Right, okay. So the Hammerhead rail rifle, heavy 1, strength 16, damage d6 plus wound roll, or damage d6 plus 1 mortal wound per marker light, and some munition rounds.
Yeah. These could work. You
like it.
need it to go crazy, obviously, to make it work.
Yeah.
And it's still, as we've discussed at length, no matter how good you make that one shot, it's still worse than a plane that does it worse, like a vehicle that does it with 3 shots. You know, because it's just so much could go wrong with the one shot.
Hooty hoo.
Hooty hoo, totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly the ballpark. There's some really good memes about our Hammerhead discussions, by the way.
Man, we had a long...
Yeah. We're not going to...
And Adrian was wrong about everything.
That's not what the memes say. I'll
Don't
tell
say
you
that, Brian.
The memes say I'm the defender of humanity. Literally humanity, because that's the town.
Yeah.
All right, thanks again, Martin. So I know that we're here to talk about Warhammer, but can we have a new house rule that Adrian can have a beer during Q&A if he wins the game?
Oh. Oh no. I think it's a beer if I lose the game.
Yeah.
Then I'll at least have something.
Thank you, Ergen Claw. Also, with starting a Red Scorpions army, so far I've ordered Cullen and Space Marine Indominus. What other models would you add? I'm thinking Primaris Tech Marine, Lots of Dreads, and the unique Librarian, Severin Loth.
Yeah, that's good. I'd add some Vanguard vets, personally. I think you could do them really well as Scorpions.
That'd be really cool. Oh, yeah, that would look really
Yeah,
slick.
right?
Really slick.
That would be my addition.
It's tough because I don't know what chapter you want them to
Sure.
be, right? So
Didn't we...
Well, they said before, there was somebody before that said Iron Hands. Is that the same?
It's the same person.
Okay, so they
Did
want
they say Iron Hands?
Yeah, they wanted to run them as
it
Iron
is the
Hands.
same person?
Yeah, it's the same person.
They said Iron Hands.
So
before.
Iron Hands. So, and you already said the Dreads.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds kind of good to go, no?
Yeah.
Like,
A flyer.
Why?
This is me for Brian.
So
Does he
Fire
love it?
Raptor?
No, not a Fire Raptor.
Wait,
The
you did
Storm
it.
Talon.
you're saying one Storm Talon?
Yeah.
No, one Fire Raptor gunship. Just one.
Get out of here,
Just one.
Brian.
You guys gotta find another chance for me to play Fire. Oh yeah, we said the Fire Raptor against Orion. I'm looking forward to this
Promises were made.
Promises were
Paint
made.
jobs were promised.
There's also memes about that. There's a pretty good meme.
Yeah.
You will receive, you will offer. How's it going?
So yeah, we'll go with your Vanguard bets. It's good. Gives you a bit of flexibility, a bit of mobility.
And it's gonna be great.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Dylan, hey Titans, thinking of starting Chaos Demons, but don't know where to start. I like all the 4 gods. What's your recommendation?
Bellicor!
Bellicor's a good place to start.
If you like all the gods.
Yeah, that's true.
That
He's
is a
the
good-
champion of them
yeah.
all.
You can't buy him. He's sold out, but
Well,
You could try.
we will.
Maybe go to your local game store. They might actually have a pre-order for him. That's how I got Curse City.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get one next week. One
support
way,
your
somehow.
local game store.
One way or the other.
Yeah.
You're going to take it out of a child's
gonna go
hand
rob
as
a
they're
child.
like walking out of
Yeah,
a
I'll
games
be like,
workshop.
yeah, I threw it on the ground. That's mine. And then
Throw some cash at them and
the
run away.
problem.
It's very mean, Adrian.
But the thing is,
It's very chaotic.
I wouldn't have thought it through. And we're so close to the game store, I'll run back to the studio, but they're just driving behind and see me go to
Very
the
slowly,
building.
like 4 miles
Yeah,
an hour.
And then they just take it back.
The last time I went to Games Workshop, it's pretty far from here, so I don't go very often.
Yeah.
I walked in, I was like, hey, can I get this and this? I had this on hold. And they're like, are you Brian from... I was wearing a mask. They couldn't see just my eyes. They're like,
Oh,
you're
weird.
Brian from Tabletop. And I was like, oh, yeah, hey, what's up?
Was that at Game Castle?
No, that was at
Games Workshop.
Games
Oh,
Workshop,
Games
in,
Workshop. Wow.
in Fremont.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, what's up? You noticed me with my mask on.
That's wild.
So you wouldn't get away with this crime is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, that's
They
true.
would notice you right
But
away.
they would forgive you immediately.
They'd be like, oh, you...
Oh,
And I'd be
classic
like,
Adrian.
Yeah, can I keep the Bellicore? And they're like, no, take it back. And don't talk to me and my son ever
Yeah, exactly.
again. But legitimately, get some Keepers of Secret, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, start power
Yeah,
games.
Keepers are good.
Slanesh.
Power.
They're so fun, though, too. They're cool.
They're
If you
cool.
like
They're
all the
cool.
gods,
They're cool.
then buy all the Greater Demons. I think they're all a lot of fun, and you can mix and match them all. The book's bound to make them all good.
I will agree with that. The Greater Unclean one will be good.
The Great One Clean one's not the worst one, though.
No, the
The
Bloodthirster
Bloodthirster is the worst one. I am not going to go so far as to claim he will be
Okay.
good.
Then
That's
we're
a
in-
harder
As long as
problem
they
to
make
solve.
sure
We're in
you don't get
agreement.
armor saves against him, I'm fine.
Yeah. Gosh. Even, didn't they show Bellicore's super attack is still only -2 rend? I was like,
That doesn't bode well for the Bloodthirster.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a tough nut
It's
to
like,
crack.
why?
But I would legitimately start with
Because
Bloodcore.
it's hard to balance the concept of a Bloodthirster.
No, he only does one thing.
It's a
He
flying
does two
melee
things.
knight.
He dies before charging, or he charges
Right.
and then you get
It's
armor
a
saves.
flying gallant.
They can make him work. They can make
That's
him work.
hard to balance. A flying gallant.
It's hard, but it's not that hard.
At least make it a flying gallant.
Yeah.
Jeez.
All right.
Make him a Dimacaron, I'm just saying. Macaroons.
We can't stay on this forever. Thank you
we
again,
will.
Martin. Canadian or American team? I would point out to Bridger that it would be easier to be selected for the American team if Brian joined the Canadian team.
So my long game, I'm joining the Canadian team
Just
in order to get scouted by the American team.
team.
I'm pretty sure I know the captains of the American team. I'm pretty sure to just talk to them first. Be like, I'm interested.
They would reject you, Brian, because there's too many good candidates.
There are a lot of good candidates. I think that one of the
Not
things
for
is
the Canadian.
there's a lot of people who just who are amazing players just can't commit
Right.
to being on the
It's
team.
a huge commitment.
Big commitment.
That's actually very
You got to practice with the team, and you got to make it out to these very specific events. It's not
Traveling,
easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big commitment.
Yeah.
I would also not be able to commit. So
For especially
any
for
of these
Canada.
teams.
You'd have to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to Canada to play with that.
I got
man.
another. This is fine. Go get some poutine, play some Warhammer. It's fine. But yeah, I got family there. It's all good.
All right, thanks. Cope and Harvest. Hey Titans, enjoying the content. Ever consider a game where chat can give and take CP with super chats, updated every command phase, and maybe no restriction on using it the same strat
We
more
did
than
do
once?
this.
We did
We
unannounced.
tried this very briefly
Dang, Brian.
because it broke everything immediately.
This
my
is like
God.
when we first started super chats.
Yeah.
You could give a CP. This is
Right.
why Bobson always gives one CP.
Bobson.
Because he
Why?
was
Bobson.
feeding us CP.
I had like 50, 60. I had so many CP.
This was one of our very last 8th edition games.
Sure.
Yeah.
Custodes versus Agents of Bile, and it was not going well for the Custodes.
That's true.
Like, we had discussed, should we try it out, blah, blah, blah. And then Brian's like, you know what? What's up, chat? We're now taking donations for command points. And then it was just like, ding, 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 ding. And then Brian's like, I'm doing this strat, and this strat, and this strat. And I was like, what? We didn't agree. And then all the strats failed by
They
some
all
act
failed.
of
They all
God.
failed,
yeah.
yeah.
And then we're like, we probably shouldn't do this.
It was dangerous.
I was
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
that one time.
It was funny.
so funny. Oh my god.
But then people like
then we had
watched
to
that
announce in the
video
next
and
game.
thought that we were still doing it.
So we
so
had to
people
announce the
keep
next
donating
game.
for
They're
it.
like, hey,
Hey.
we're not going to do that anymore. It doesn't work.
It's it'd be it'd make for not good Warhammer, but a game all based around this where it's like like chat plays Warhammer, that could actually be really cool. Where it's like about that, it's within the
Right.
constraints of a single game,
Yeah.
limited. That could be actually really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Colt. Adrian, that's in all caps. The last game with CSM, Black Legion, was January 21st. 25 games. What the heck?
I know.
We ain't getting a codex until 2024. Don't make us wait that long for a bat rep.
All right, I'll play them, but they just make me sad.
You know what's funny? 2024, we'll have a Sisters of Silence codex before then.
2024.
Before 2024?
That one I probably agree with.
Yeah.
Tell you what, next time I play Chaos Space Marines, I'll play them as Black Legion.
All right.
All right, we did it.
It's happening.
Thank you, Reactor Worker, painting Farsight Enclaves, which seems to mean corn red, null oil, then red again to get the brightness back. Is there a better way to do panel lines?
There is. Absolutely. With Tau, I would not encourage you to wash the models ever. Never.
You want a clean look.
Yeah. I would never encourage you to do that. So what I would do is, you want to use corn red, whatever red you like, cool. If you're brushing it, then that's fine. Airbrush is really, really good for Tau models. But then you want to gloss coat the whole model. You can either get that spray like a rattle can to gloss coat. I do it through an airbrush, but I actually occasionally will brush on a gloss coat, but I'll brush it just over the panels, like the creases, if I'm doing it that way. And then you can get an oil wash. You can make it yourself. You watch a YouTube video how to make your own oil wash. And with, typically pretty dark, but it can even be very thin. And then you can carefully paint it in the cracks. And then you can have like a little Q-tip on the side with like a little bit of white spirit or something.
Yep.
And if you ever make a mistake, it'll wipe right off because of the gloss finish and the white spirit. And because of the gloss, you're also not going to wipe your paint off with the white spirit.
Right.
And so it's way easier than it sounds. It just sounded like 100 steps the way I said it. But literally it's like, okay, finished all my models. Spray, that takes me like a minute. They're cool, they're dry. And then to do all the panel lines on a huge Tau army, like on 2,000 points of Tau, I could do all the panel lines in a single night. Like, it's nothing with this procedure.
There actually aren't that many. You seem surprised, but like there's not that many of those lines.
Really?
And it'll look amazing. That's how all the best Tau painters I've ever seen have done it. So, yeah. And then you matte finishes. You don't want them to be glossy.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bombarded. I'm converting old AOS orcs into boys to finally have 3 squads of 30.
Nice.
Should I run any rockets or big shooters or beef up the knob?
Yeah, rockets. I don't like big shooters currently. I hope they get some sort of
Yeah, big shooters suck.
like give them splinter cannon.
need to be real strong.
Yeah. But the rockets are interesting. I don't often run them, but I'll run like one if I'm Death Skulls for that single reroll.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you're Evil Sons, they also are you can advance and shoot. That's the main reason I don't always run them is because unless you're playing Evil Sons or Death Skulls, whenever you advance, they're just like basically useless.
Hitting on 6s and you pay too much for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can do one, but overlay I don't generally do that. Make sure you do model your tank buster bombs.
That's true.
Because it's just something you have to keep track of.
Easy to forget.
Yeah. And there's a
You always upgrade the knob.
always upgrade the knob. Yep.
Yeah. What do you always put a claw?
I go claw nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big choppa if you're really tight for points. And there's been times during the meta when I actually preferred it, but give it the claw.
The claw's the way to go.
Yeah, actually a bunch of 30 of my boys are also they're fantasy boys. They were bow boys, and so just chop them up, convert them.
It's good.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, boys. That takes me
Bow
back.
boys. They were our boys.
Yeah.
Error
boys.
boys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. Working on my Craftworld, and I'm having trouble with shading red. Any tips for a clean look?
For shading red?
Shading red.
Ooh.
So,
well, airbrush.
Both of us, yeah. Well, yeah, the airbrush is the secret, but within that, it's even often. So your Blood Angels are kind of unique because you did them in a very stark red, but
Get them flat.
completely flat
completely
red.
flat.
Yeah, but a lot of time we'll do black to red fades, a dark red to a lighter fade. I'll do red to even a little orangish at the tip, so you're kind of creating a bit of a gradient. And but Eldar kind of like Tau in the sense that you don't really want to wash them,
Especially with those big surfaces.
Yeah, which is tough because
gonna look
that's
good.
one way of usually shading red is a nice brown wash. makes it look very rich. But
Yeah.
last point is edge highlighting. Like my sisters, I edge highlight my red in like a burnt umber orangish kind of color, and it really gives them that crispness and kind of brings out the red. So
I'll tell you, if I did not have an airbrush,
Yeah.
I would literally rattle can this army. I would start by finding my base color of red, and I'd spray the whole army nice and clean in that. I could start with a black. Okay, let's say I did that. My smartest technique would be a very light black coating. These have to be thin. And then I would do my red on top, and I would be very directional with it.
Yeah.
And but a little more, like I would get underneath, but I would be a little more directional. And then I might even buy an even brighter red and be exceptionally directional with it. And now I've got that airbrush look, and I would do what I just did with the Tau with the clean panel lines. And it's really, like, it's pretty much the same as an airbrush. You just can't be particular. Like, you can't be like, this panel goes this way and that panel goes that way. You know, you have to just have directional lighting source, which can work really well.
Totally.
Very cool. Thank you, Brandon. Love the new studio. How many Incubii is too many? Will Drazar and 30 Incubii and boats be viable in most Eldar armies? How would Adrian run 30?
So I did run 30 the first game, and the weird thing is they're so good that I haven't been running 30. I'll return to the idea later on, but here's the problem: like 10 Incubii kills like anything.
Yes.
And 5 Incubii kills most things.
Yes.
And you're still limited to a squad, like a max of 3 squads. So like currently, I'm running 3 squads of 5 actually.
Because it's enough to get the job done.
It's pretty much enough. Like you could do 2 squads of 5 and a squad of 10, but like
I think that works too.
it's hard to push it beyond that. Funny enough, you know. Just like if I could take more, I would. I would actually take them over even witches. Probably drop a unit of witches for another unit of Incubii, but you just can't. So that's where I'm at right now.
It's a sanguinary guard problem. Where you'd have like 100 squads of 5 if you could.
Yes.
The only reason you're taking
4,
10,
Brian.
the only reason you're taking 10-man squads is because you can't take more units and you just want more of them on the board.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But you're not a huge proponent of Drazar Master of Blades anymore, are you?
No, I am.
It's hard to
He's
fit him in.
still excellent.
But it's hard to fit him in.
I've come around to.
He's
I
amazing.
think the triple patrol is the way to go, because then you don't give up anything to get Drazar. And the reason that you're mentioning that is because if you take the real space, then you have to pay 2 command points to get Drazar in another detachment.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a proponent of making him the warlord often.
Although a lot of people are doing that these days.
I think it's
His
interesting.
warlord trait is bonkers.
His warlord trait
It's
is great.
really good. It's really good.
He's a huge asset when
Yeah,
he's got that trait.
But you could also put that like on an Archon, and he still buffs people with his +1 to wound. You know?
Yeah, you like to spread things out.
I spread things out a bit.
Yeah.
So these are all good options, but I do think the triple patrol is the way to go. I think it's just better than the real space raid at this point.
Yeah, I wonder if they, honestly, I have no idea whether they intended that or not.
If they didn't intend it, then it becomes a bit more of a decision,
Right.
but you're still getting 2 command points.
Yeah.
You know, if that's the case.
Yeah.
But I think it's intended. We'll see.
Yeah.
I like how diverse the list options are for Drukhari.
Yeah.
I've seen so many good
They did a
Drukhari
great
lists.
job this book.
It's a great book.
They made it good.
There's too many options.
All right, thanks. Talkateer. Hey Titans, your content continues to be amazing. Your channel has gotten me back into 40K.
Thank you.
Haven't played since the beginning of 7th. Thank you. No,
Oh,
thank
you're welcome.
you.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad
you.
you like it.
Glad to have you back.
Thank you, Monahan. Hey guys, I enjoyed the railgun discussion last week.
Me too.
My other army is word bearers, and I was wondering what changes you would like to see to summoning. Right now, it is a big hassle and a big risk for not a whole lot of payoff.
Yeah.
Move and summon.
Yeah.
No reason you have to stand still.
Yeah.
I could see it becoming an action,
Yeah, that's cool.
but an action that doesn't screw with you too much.
Yeah.
I think if it is still possible to fail
Yeah.
and costs points, I don't see why it has to have the 9-inch from enemy restriction.
I thoroughly agree with you, and I think it should. Even if you want to tie it to a character, at least make it 18, right? Like
Right.
make
Yeah.
it way further from that character.
Yeah.
I think now we're cooking here.
Like, can you think of a way that would break anything?
Oh, sure, but
It's just
More
a
than
delivery
anything else?
mechanism for an army that doesn't really have one.
Can you do it first turn?
Yes. You
so
can
obviously
summon first
you would have to at least
Because that
start
would be very strong.
an inch away.
Yes, you can't summon into combat, but like
No.
Still very powerful though.
Sorry, when you're saying 9 inches, you mean 9 inches from enemies or
Yeah.
9 inches of your? Because
He's talking about within 9 inches of enemies.
no,
why not?
Bridger.
Why not? No,
you
hold
can't
on.
do that.
Why not?
It's way too
incredibly
strong.
powerful.
It would be instantly the best army in the game.
a ton of armies have deep strike within 9.
No,
What?
no, they don't.
Who?
What?
I'd love to hear.
Yeah, name all these
Gene
armies.
Stealers.
Okay.
That's a very expensive strat. They can't do it army wide. You're talking about like, what if I summon
And
9 times
Custodes.
in one turn? That's one time
That's situational
on
with
one
one,
unit,
yeah.
and I have to get this very specific model very close to do it.
I don't think it's that crazy.
It's exceptionally
pretty crazy.
First of all, you're talking about the Custodes thing, which just would instantly win you the game, and you're talking about what if an army could do it 4 times per turn every turn? On a thing-
Hold on. That means that what you have on the table is like 4 characters and that's it.
Why wouldn't you?
Because the rest of your
First
points.
of all, why wouldn't you if you could bring them all safely down within outside of an inch?
Because you'll go second and they'll indirect you and you die. The game's over.
That's not true.
But I think you could also do this relatively cheaply, and it would still be game breaking. This could
Yeah.
be plague bearers for
First
all
of
we
all,
care.
I'm saying you still have a 9-inch restriction, but you don't have to be so close to your character. Right now, you have to be close to your character.
I was surprised to hear you agree with him.
No, I was
don't think
saying,
it's that
I said
crazy.
18 inches. So I was talking about you could be further away from your character, but still outside of 9.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to be able to come down on the board.
Right. So we all agree that it's really this is supposed to be a flexible tool that gives you more options. Currently, in many ways, it gives you less options because it's so restrictive.
Yeah.
So some way of allowing that is the way to go.
I agree. And when the demons come down, I think they shouldn't necessarily just be in every way worse than demons that you would put in their own detachment. Right? Like, if you're word bearers, maybe your demons manage to get their detachment benefits or something like that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
right?
The
Like,
word
so-
bearer detachment bonus?
No,
Or
like a demon detachment benefit. Like, these demons that you can summon in shouldn't be inferior to the normal demon. Like, you're
gets-
paying the same points for just an inferior demon.
I know why
not
they
interesting.
did it the way they did it. Because it's very, very muddy on like, you have an army that's battle forged and all your detachments are set, and now you're bringing in a new thing. Does it belong to any of the existing things?
Yeah,
Is it in
sure.
its own thing? How do you define what it's a part of? Like, do you pick at the table mid-turn? Like, oh, I'm summoning in a guy from a new detachment, and he's from this detachment, and they have this chapter tactic. Like,
Totally. I'm not saying they get
do you do
all
it?
their rules, but I'm saying don't make sure that they're not coming in as like an inferior, because these days, so much of what makes a model great is not on its data sheet. It's from layers
Yeah.
of other stuff. And if I'm just paying the same points for like a plague bearer that doesn't have half his rules, then it's already a non-starter.
Well, yeah, I think it has to balance. Like, it's a factor in it's a factor in how you kind of point everything, right? Because it's like, cool, if they are worse in every way, then why are they better? Oh, it's because you can get this flexibility of coming in at this place or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like, maybe why not both? But maybe it's
It has to be more than just that, because demons can already teleport in if they're in their own detachment or something like that. Like, it has to be a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
Totally.
make sure they don't lose too much is what I'm saying. So move in psychic, move in summon, summon further away from your character,
Yeah.
and make sure the things you summon in are not nerfed. That would already be a great start.
yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Magnus. Nothing wrong. Looking for suggestions on converting putrid Blight Kings into Death Guard Possessed. I don't like the old Possessed kits. Are
Yeah.
the Blight Kings too large? Didn't realize they came on 40 mil bases.
No, they'll fit on 32s
it's fine.
though.
Yeah,
I have
it's fine.
one of my Poxbringers is a Light Lord on a 32, and he fits, no problem. Just err more on the demony bits and less on the like Sigmar old-fashioned axes and stuff
Agreed.
like that. Obviously, some green stuff is your best friend in the world. Some green stuff tentacles if you want.
I hate the old Possessed, and they're
so
one of the
ugly.
best units to convert up.
That was the thing. Like they used to be like the ultimate like conversion one back
Yeah.
in the day. You used to have a lot of people that, and even I had some of these that were like chapped like actual Space Marine like armor,
Right.
and then just like possessed demon bodies. Like they like got possessed immediately or
that's
something,
cool.
and that was cool. And they were like, here's this kid, and it's like, oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job on that one.
So cartoony.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
You could try to get. I don't even need backpacks. Just make them cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Martin. Now the Tabletop Titans has an employee. Can I add an agenda item to Adrian's next 121 with Brian? What's a 121?
1-on-1? What is this?
1-2-1? I don't know.
1-to-1,
1-to-1, yeah.
1-to-1.
With Brian,
You can try.
an expenses card for Adrian's shirt. Let's get crazy.
Oh, you're assuming that I haven't already. He can't reject my proposal every month, can he?
That's right. You're giving really elaborate presentations, and it's like 45 minutes of charts going up to the right,
Yeah.
and then in the end you reveal it's because of the shirts. Like the shirts are.
More shirts,
Brian,
more
how
beta.
about
Yeah.
this month? Can I get a new shirt this month?
Like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, hear me out. He's like, Brian's like, first of all, is this about the shirts? If so,
And you're like, this is about business.
yeah. It's about
business
way
of
life.
shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
It's about how you want to look at yourself when you get up in the morning and you're going to stream a game. Not how I feel, how you feel.
That's right. How does this shirt make you feel?
All right, thanks, Todd. Hey, Titans, are Primaris only Dark Angels viable, or is it too limiting? That's pretty limiting.
Only Dark Angels.
You've limited their best things,
Right.
but they're still Space Marines and they could still do good work.
There's still a good chapter.
Yeah.
If you replaced all of your Deathwing Terminators with Blade Guard, you still have a strong army.
Yeah, you'll still win.
Yeah, still very, very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong.
I think you'd have to lean into the best things, but still very good.
Still very strong. Thanks again, Todd. Do Knights and Chaos Knights play different enough to justify owning both of them beyond just unique looks?
Ooh.
I would say yes.
They do.
They do.
Imperial Knights are more defensive.
Yeah.
And
thus shooty. In a way.
and shooty, yeah.
Yeah.
Chaos Knights are more, they have reckless abandon. They'll just run in, they'll fight you.
Well, they fight
They
way
all
better.
fight.
And they fight way better.
Yeah. But they're not as defensive. That's the trade-off.
Yes.
We both own both because they're so cool. There's
Yeah.
no reason we should.
They're super cool.
Yeah. Knights are fun to collect.
Yeah.
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 There you go. Thanks again, Martin. I miss all the old Marine transports like the Razorback.
Yeah, me too.
How can we make it fair for them to transport Primaris, maybe half capacity?
I thought they should.
I see.
I thought they should have
Yeah.
considered this more.
And drop pods and stuff.
I think they should consider opening up the transports to transporting anything.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the end of the world.
I don't think they will.
I think Primaris transports should carry Firstborn.
Yeah.
And Firstborn transports.
Well, definitely that direction. There's no reason a repulsor can't carry
Like
TAC
if
Marines.
you know, you don't have kids, you understand. I don't have kids either, but like, imagine like you're like in a like car seat that's way too big for you, and they're just like their heads like busted open. You're like, I don't think it's helping them anymore.
I would like to think they're mag locked in, not
Have you looked inside of a drop pod?
buckled in.
They're literally buckles.
Well,
The impulsor, I don't know. I don't even think this.
It's like
is
a
the
cheap ride at a
41st
fair.
It's the
It's
41st
a cheap ride at a
millennium.
fair. Like,
Yeah.
you're definitely dying.
No, but that's the thing. The reason why you cannot put non-space marines in a drop pod is because it will literally kill them. They talk about this in the lore.
Yeah.
The impact would kill a human.
Yeah, the G-forces are intense.
Yeah.
you also just hit the ground. Like,
It'd be like your scions when they came out
Yeah.
of the vulture.
That's true.
there
Yeah.
was a good meme of that, and I couldn't find it. from
That's
the week.
tragic.
I remember seeing it.
But I agree
I
with
really
that.
think they should fix this. Especially, I think about the big Forge World ones,
Yeah.
Like the big Land Raiders that hold like 20, and the Thunderhawk gunships.
Yeah.
And in the story, they still use Thunderhawks and
Sure, of course.
and things like that to transport the Primaris, because they don't have a Primaris Thunderhawk or anything like that.
The Thunderhawk can transport Primaris.
Really?
It
What?
Can it really?
In the new Forge World book, it can.
That's cool.
I'm gonna double check this.
It can.
And then I'm gonna buy one.
In fact,
That's the thing. I'm not lying
In
to you.
fact-
That is the only reason I don't own one.
Yeah.
this week, Winters just did a battle rep with a Thunderhawk and Primaris in it.
What?
Winters, you glorious bastard.
That's amazing.
I have to see this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks again, Martin. Canada American team bit. I was trying to say that if Brian joined the Canadian team, it would be easier for everyone else to get a spot on the American team.
He was trying to be kind. We turned it into like a
Yeah.
way to bash on Canada again or something.
Well, we're opportunistic. What can
Yeah,
I
sure,
say?
That's right.
Sure.
Yeah, never miss an opportunity to bash on Canada.
It might
Canada
make
can
it.
take it. It's fine.
It might make it easier for like me and Adrian to get on the American team.
Sure.
But all the other people that were ahead of Brian in line for the American team, it didn't make it any easier for them.
That's true.
It's true.
And it made it harder to get on the Canadian team,
Oh.
which was my plan to immigrate.
Everyone knows that's like, yeah, your best plan.
Get a green card by being on a professional Warhammer team in Canada.
I'd love to see you apply for that.
That'd be amazing.
Try to explain it to the Border Patrol.
Hey, see, I
Yes.
play this game. It's set in the far distant future where life
Yeah.
is war.
You have some models, like you open them, you put them on their
okay.
desk, and you're like, roll, and you got like one of those little starter sticks, that where you measure 6 inches, and you're like, okay, you're the Dark Angels, right?
Now look how
Now
good I
you
am
roll.
at beating you.
Yeah. Now let me tell you what's wrong with the Dark Angels. 7 hours later. Okay, now we're ready to play. All right, so
I've been live streaming this whole thing. We've got chat questions for you.
yeah. They want to know, why are you so bad at this game?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jonathan. Thoughts on Repulsor Executioner for the Space Wolf Army I posted. Also forgot I also have a Judicer in the list.
Yes.
Yeah. More fight last for the Space
More
Wolves.
fight last. Yeah, the execution will give you a ton of firepower, which is cool, and
Give you a bit of transport also, doesn't it?
Yeah, it holds 6.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like a serviceable amount, which is cool because you also have like those small units of Blade Guard in your list. That'll fit nicely because it can't take.
It can take 6 Blade Guard, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
or 5 with an ancient.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people do.
how many does the big one hold?
12.
Does it really hold 12?
The repulsor? Yeah, because it holds 6 aggressors, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
They're fatty boys.
Yeah.
And
As
somehow
opposed to the Blade Guard.
Blade Guard are not fat with their gigantic shield the size
they're
of
the
a
same number of
Primaris.
wounds.
Let's be honest. If they were T5, if they were Gravis, they'd have to be T5, and then
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like in a transport, their shield is the size of another person. They should take up 2 slots.
Yeah, have you ever had someone get on like a packed bus with their skateboard? It's the worst.
Or you get on a plane and they're they're trying to ram an entire
Yeah, it's like, is that your
food
guitar?
cart?
Anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
sounds great.
There you go. Thanks, Digital Designer. Sad that Falcon and the Winter Soldier and For All Mankind end next week.
Yeah, that'll suck.
Have you all been watching either, or is it another show on the plate?
I'm up to date on both those shows. I love those shows.
It's on my plate. I haven't watched it yet.
I don't watch television.
I watch everything. All the time.
I watched some
I've seen it all. But yeah, I just watched the newest episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier yesterday. And For All Mankind's really good too.
Good?
It's an Apple original show. It's good.
Check it out.
All right, thanks. Colt, I just wanted CSM, not Black Legion. This is for you. I think you should play Alpha Legion, Iron Warriors, Word Bearers, Night Lords, Emperor's Children, or Red Crusaders first.
Yeah.
Those are all great.
Those are all great. I do have some Red Crusaders, and we can play some more. I was thinking about them because of the how to play 40 or the what is 40K video. But the other option is, I mentioned this before. Nick, I don't know, we'll see if Nick lets me, but he has a really cool Alpha Legion army.
He does, you're right.
But pretty soon, especially now that he's vaccinated, he'd be like, no, I'm going to play them on the show. That's the only way you get them. I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah, I want to see like a really nice Alpha Legion army.
It's
Alpha
a
Legion's
gorgeous army.
Yeah, it's
I
a cool
love it.
faction.
I want to see it.
It's really cool. So
Get it in here.
I'll be like, if you want these Tyranids back,
Just hold them hostage.
I don't want to give you these Tyranids back.
But also, while we still have your Tyranids, can we have your Alpha Legion?
Yeah. I'm just gonna I need to do like pretend I'm handing it off, and then as he passes it, run. But he also knows how to find me.
It's true. In many ways.
Well, we have a lock in the studio. You can just stay here.
Yeah, but I have to go home eventually.
You
And
don't.
He's
This could
kind
be
of crazy
your
like
new
that. He'll
home.
camp outside.
And if you try to get food delivered, he'll just eat it.
Yeah, he'll just eat it.
Ooh, yeah.
And
I
then
feel
you're sustaining his ability
That's true.
to siege your castle.
Every time you order food, he gets stronger.
I mean, let me tell you, I'm sure Nick knows proper siege tactics, so that'd be a little concerning.
That would be. You're
But
right.
does he know that we have an extra door?
We do have an extra door. In line of sight of the first door.
Yeah.
I'm a good sprinter. And he'll be so full from all my food that he's eating.
Ooh, that's a good tactic.
Ooh, distract him.
Yeah,
You get two
I'll get food
orders
ordered,
to
and right
2
when it
doors.
arrives, I'll run past.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Cool.
All right, thanks again, Martin. People worrying about a Chaos Marine bat rep. Surely you can use the new Demon Guy in their army list to demo him as a new release.
That's true.
That's Belcor.
The new demon
The
guy.
new Demon Guy.
Yeah, well, he would be a mixed one because I don't think I doubt he's gonna have any official rules to put him with CSM. He's the whisperer behind Abaddon's. He's behind Abaddon all the time, but they're not officially associated. So
Yeah.
I won't say no, but we also do a lot of mixed chaos, and I think CSM is something we can do a full battle of, as opposed to Thousand Suns or something.
That's right. Yeah. I'm excited to see it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're just getting there.
There we go.
Thank you, Brian.
Budiga Boy. It moves, because now we're at the bottom.
Yeah.
It moves every time there's a new super chat, so I
thought.
lose my place. Thanks, Budiga Boy. Hey, Titans, for the love of all things red and angry, how do we fix Corn Demons in 9th?
Ooh.
Tough.
More attacks,
Fancy charge.
more damage.
Yep.
I think it's hard to balance a faction that only plays one phase. They need shooting.
No, not necessarily.
But think about the best current armies. They
They
don't
all
have a
have-
bunch of shooting.
But they have mostly combat, some shooting.
Okay, so make their skull cannons good.
Make the Skull Cannon actually terrifying.
Make
yeah.
them tank commanders.
Sure.
Because the some shooting you need is to pop transports. If
Right.
you can't pop transports and kill the stuff inside, you lose the game.
Make
Yeah.
skull cannons awesome.
Make Skull
you
Cannons
don't leave
awesome,
home
yeah.
without
Make skull
two of them.
cannons great again.
Yeah, I think an advance
3
in charge.
plus D3 damage.
I think an advance in charge for the army could be big
Yeah,
as well.
cool.
Because
They need that.
Yeah, you just want that speed.
Yeah,
More delivery
yeah.
mechanisms for a combat-only army.
all these things. Make
Yeah.
the dang Juggernauts have a 3-up armor save.
They don't have 3?
Actually, I think I get this wrong every time. They might have a 3.
Okay,
What?
because they definitely need a 2.
A 2?
Wait, what are we talking about?
Juggernauts, corn Juggernauts.
The Juggernauts?
Juggernauts.
Yeah.
The Jaegernauts.
The blood crushers he's talking about.
Oh, okay. Because I
Sorry,
didn't
I'm
think
just saying the
Juggernaut
mounts.
was an actual thing. I was
No,
like,
it is a Juggernaut.
The mount is called
a Juggernaut.
right. But
And
it's-
you used to be able to have Chaos Lords based on them. Can you still? Or are they Legends
no
did?
way. That's got to be Legends.
No, I think it's Legends.
I think
'Cause
it's
you can't
Legends
do
now.
Palanquins either, can you?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll look up the armor save thing, but just because I'm curious. But yeah, that's the idea, right?
That's all they need.
-1 damage on everything. Good.
Oh, and they should have the Black Templar just pile in for no reason.
But they need strats like this, where it's just like they get in combat, they more
Yeah.
aggressively grab you. You know, things like this, it could work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, thanks again, Martin. I'm concerned about Bridger's competitiveness on the board. Could he soup Dark Angel Deathwing with Custodes? If so, how could that be done? And did he do it? No.
You know what he is doing, though? Learning a new army.
Oh, I am. I'm learning Death Guard.
What do you think of it so far? Did you do your first game of
Too
it?
many rules. No, first game's tomorrow.
First game's tomorrow. Okay.
Too many rules.
Yeah, it's welcome to 9th.
Too many rules. Too many warlord traits. You effectively have like 5 or 6 warlord traits.
And they're all amazing.
Why?
They're all amazing.
What were they thinking?
It's one of the first books where all 6 warlord traits just are better than the last.
But they're
and then
all
there's 6 more.
so complicated.
There's
Like
12 warlord traits in the book, and each one of them is better than the
Like,
last one.
I can do Blood Angels for warlord traits because it's like, cool. Like, this guy has a stack of abilities that makes him great in combat. I get it. Like, I know he has a litany and 2 warlord traits and a relic.
Yeah.
And I get that. That's his stack. This is how he fights. But all these warlord traits are like
They impact the
auras
battle. Yeah.
and multi-conditional
Yeah.
and multi-claused. So they do multiple
And they're new
things.
mechanics.
It's like,
Yeah.
why?
And there's like auras and contagions, which
Yeah.
are distinct, but
And
similar.
contagions are not auras. And they call it out in one spot. They're like, anything that changes an aura can't change a contagion.
can change a
Yeah.
contagion.
But then there's things that impact contagions, but not auras.
And things that impact auras and not contagions.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Why?
Yeah, man. It's
Why?
good stuff.
Now
Who
you
wrote this
understand.
book?
But it's cool. It's like all cool
It's
stuff.
an
Once you
Escher
understand it.
painting.
fun.
The Death
Yeah.
Guard book is an Escher painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no end to it.
Exciting though. Blood Crushers. They have a 4-up save.
That's, yeah.
That's heavy armor.
Criminal. That's,
makes sense.
That's heavy armor.
Yeah.
But that's not like power armor, which they should be.
No, but I'm sure that's a carryover from like ages ago when they just had heavy armor because they were from fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Thanks again, Martin. I think this stream should end same way the last one started. We've said many times, orcs suck. OMG, they totally do, but hope they get new rules.
Totally.
We expect them to become a great army.
It's so funny. I saw some people were like, "Oh man, you guys say they suck." It's like we said they suck because we love orcs.
Yeah.
We won't lie to you guys. We're
We
like,
want them to be great.
They can be awesome. We've seen them be awesome. We have high hopes for them. And
We both love this faction
yeah,
so much. Yeah.
it sucks when they don't have good rules. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Like, arguably,
all good.
you build your best orc list ever.
yeah.
Build your best. And I'll play the factions I own, which happen to almost all have codexes.
Yeah.
Right? You would, and I'll just build like a good army for each.
so tough.
And then you'd never win.
It's so
like,
tough.
you know what I mean?
You know.
The only reason when we play orcs, we have to work hard to make it a cool game. And even then, they seem to underperform still.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a very tough faction at the moment.
Yeah. So tough.
That's actually the secret of orcs, is whatever you set your expectation at, they will be just below it.
Just, yeah, a couple steps
You could
below.
set a sky-high expectation, they'll be just below it.
That's right, you got to aim high.
yeah. That's not.
Orcs be believing.
Orcs
true.
be believing. Yeah.
All right, last one of the evening. Thank you, Cobra Commander. Guys, now that your channel is a known entity within the 40K community, we got there.
We made it.
Are you concerned that our tourney opponents, that your tourney opponents will be influenced, good or bad? Also, what Star Trek race would each of you be? I haven't thought about this. Like, I don't want to be a celebrity. I don't think of myself. Like, I don't want to go places and have
How
people
would this influence
recognize
the game,
me.
though? It's just people want to be more friendly with you sometimes? That's great.
Well, they also could hate us.
True, but hopefully that's not how they roll up to tournaments. Like, let me see how much disdain I can show my opponents. Like, cool. It sounds like if they were that kind of person anyways, they were going to have a bad time.
It is a distinct possibility.
Sure.
Particularly the competitive community, there are some people that just really don't like us. And that's
Right.
We have
because
to accept
we play like a pseudo casual, pseudo competitive 440k.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not what they're looking for.
I mean, I'm happy to beat them in a game. That's
I think
fun.
it's going to be fine. I think most people are going to be, great, and they're probably going to be very friendly.
Right.
And it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I don't worry about it too much.
Although I will say, I have seen how celebrities in the 40k community that existed before us were existing within tournaments, like what they had to deal with when they went to tournaments. And I
They
don't
would just
want
have
that.
a lot of people come say hi to them, and I
all
think
the
that's
time.
cool.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Ah, that's great. Come say hi to me at a tournament. I'm looking forward to
Yes, come say hi to Brian at a tournament.
it. Yeah.
Everyone find Bridger.
Live Bridger in his corner.
I'm like
Find us and we'll go find Bridger.
secretly quite introverted, and
Oh, yeah.
just want to eat my lunch with like 2 people
I feel you.
and just chill out. You know,
Good luck.
that's me.
So your Star Trek race.
Not gonna be easy.
Are you a Borg?
Sure.
He's for sure a Borg. Oh my God, he's a Borg. What am I?
What are you?
What am I?
You're an Andorian.
Wait, which one's that? That's
I'm
not
not
the
telling you.
pseudo-psychic one, is it?
No.
An Andorian.
I don't know any of this. You're speaking another language.
No, I gotta tell you.
You're an Orion, actually. I'm going to make you an Orion.
That one I definitely don't know.
That's
Andorian, I
the-
recognize the name.
I'm going to give you, I think both these are good, but the Orion, I'm giving it to you. I'm not going to explain it. Unless you have a pick, then you're sticking with the Orion. I think the Orion is a really good pick for him for all the Star Trek nerds out there. I think they're going to laugh at that one. Because it's both good and funny. And
You're just gonna have to Google this.
I think
I
I'm going
will.
to take the Vulcan. I live by the logic.
You're very Vulcan.
I'm
for
very
sure.
Vulcan.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
just like, yeah, that's
No
logical.
emotion, pure logic.
Yeah.
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 I think we did it.
Nailed
No,
it.
there's one more. There's
Okay.
one more. Snuck in here. Thanks, Phil. Much love as always, guys. Do you have any speculations what changes, buffs, or nerfs Craftworlds will get in 9th? Will Mekdar be a thing again?
I hope the option of Mekdar will be a thing. I hope
Agreed.
it's not like that. Mekdar has a tumultuous history where it's been at sometimes the only way to play Eldar, and other times it's been you'll never take them at all.
Yeah.
So I hope like the
Vehicles
other books.
have a tough time right now. Like, it's getting pretty lethal out there for vehicles.
Oh yeah,
Dark Lances and all that.
totally.
So I think the vehicles will get better, but they'll still have to watch out.
We'll have to watch out, and
They don't have an invuln.
not currently.
Maybe they will get one, but like existing Serpent Shield does nothing against all this 3+D3. You'll lose it immediately.
You know what my guess is? My guess is, I'm going to make one prediction for the book.
Yeah.
My guess is that they're going to find a way to make those aspect warriors all very interesting.
I really
because
hope so.
I'm looking at all the specialty units from Drukhari and even all the other books, and their willingness to give them special rules that are game modifying.
Yeah,
And this is a ripe design space.
100% agree.
Yeah.
In the realm of no holds bar 9th
Yeah.
edition, feeling good about it.
I think they're going to be good.
Genuinely optimistic.
Yeah, me too.
Very cool. Well, that's going to do it for us.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys for so much for joining us on
Yeah.
The Good Talk.
That's right.
We had a great day, great game, great day, nice Saturday. And as we mentioned, of course, if you are a member, we are going to have a vote up right after this. We're just going to figure out what the matchups are.
We haven't decided what the vote's for, but it's going to be for our Tuesday
It's
game.
going to be for something. If you're not a member, you can consider becoming a member today. It's just below the screen right now. And if you do that, you can join our members-only section of our Discord, vote on upcoming games, and watch every Tuesday's a members-only game. So you get basically 4 extra games every single month. It's
great.
So definitely check it out.
Also just makes you cooler.
That's true.
It does make you cooler. Like if you go
Gives
on
you
a
those
date,
awesome chat icons.
Yeah.
You can tell people what your chat icon is
Yeah.
upgraded to.
It's true.
I love it.
So yeah. Once again, if you haven't seen our What is 40K video, go ahead and check it out. Other than that, we'll catch you guys next time on the Tabletop.